Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Big Time Conference. Y'all, this is the grand finale. We have arrived at the end moment, and boy, has it been a wild ride. This has been a 13-week adventure with some of the best schools in Valorant gameplay and some of the best commentators that I know you all know a bit too well have finally come together to wrap it all up. It is going to be a day of epic proportions, and I'm sure all of you are excited as I am to jump in here in just a few moments. Of course, we couldn't have done any of this without our good friends over at Corsair, and so I decided to don my Corsair robes yet again to get us live into this fantastic adventure. Now, if it's your first time joining us here, well, welcome. I'm glad that you've joined us. This is Aquatik Esports, and we're all about delivering gaming to as many people as possible, regardless of the skill set, regardless of the game that you play. Aquatik empowers you to get in the game every single day, and this is one of our fantastic collegiate events. And so I'm sure you've been following us across our social channels, and you're going to be finding more about the two teams that will be launching here in just a few moments. Now, we have a lot of great individuals that are coming to the Aquatik Studio today to make all of this possible. I'll be introducing you if it's your first time, or maybe reintroducing if you were here yesterday, back to Captain Awesome here in just a few moments to lead us into today's ventures. And then, of course, you'll be back with your two favorite commentators, both Call Me Wolverine and Explo, in just a little while to dive into all the fantastic gaming that is here set for today. I couldn't be more proud to have said that Aquatik was the home of the very first Big Time Conference featuring Valorant. And guys, we need to get through this, get into the game, and see just what's in store for everyone today. Of course, don't forget, you, an audience member, have the chance to take home a little bit of prize yourself, right? It's not just that $6,000 prize heading out to the team, but it's what can you find by hanging out in chat today? Well, it's either going to be some riot points to score and upgrade your very own gun, or perhaps it's going to be a Steam gift card. I will leave that one up to you. But guys, that's enough from me. You'll see me again at the very end of the day. Let's take it over to Captain Awesome. But first, let's look at one more little clip from our friends over at Corsair.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, players and viewers alike, welcome to the grand finals of the Big Time Conference. We are so excited to get these matches going for you guys today. And wow, it has been quite the ride. Neptjun explained it pretty well, but these teams have fought at it for 16 weeks here, 14 teams total, and we are down to the final two, Wisconsin versus Illinois. This is going to be a battle of the century between these two. They have both fought incredibly hard to be here. And let's give a recap of what kind of happened yesterday. We had 3 matches yesterday on an absolutely incredibly long stream casted by yours truly, Kami and Explo here at the studio. And wow, some crazy things happened yesterday. Wisconsin taking the upper bracket final first against Purdue, had an absolutely astonishing run to get here, completely undefeated in the playoffs. They've had an incredible run. And then it kicked down to the bottom bracket finals right before kicking into the loser bracket full final. And that was between Michigan and Illinois. Illinois took that one home and moved on to the next one against Purdue in the losers bracket final. And Illinois coming out on top at the end of that one. Milk being the MVP of the day for Illinois, pushing them through to the very end of that series. Today, Wisconsin, Illinois battle it out in the grand finals of the Big Time Conference. And I'm just so excited to get this one on the road. Both teams are absolutely incredible. This is going to be fantastic to watch, and Kami and Explo are going to do a fantastic job at casting this. I'm going to kick it over to a sponsor from Corsair, and we're going to have a wonderful afternoon today.
The day of reckoning is here for at least one of these teams. The other one will be very much happy with how this day turns out. We've got only one game, but it's going to be slightly longer. And who else would be better to bring you, well, the day of reckoning than me and my, again, outdressing me friend, out-cameraing me as well, and out-setting me as well, is my good friend, Common Wolverine. How are you, dude? How you doing? This is going to be hopefully ridiculous.
13 weeks of regular season play, 3 weekends of playoffs have all led us to this. And really the only thing that I can't outdo you in is predictions. But my man,
That's true.
No one could have predicted the final that we have. I mean, Captain Awesome touched on it, but let's kick it over to the bracket to get that full synopsis of how this went. I mean, for Wisconsin, the run that they had in the upper bracket, not only could you have not predicted it, but the way that they did it was as unpredictable as their run itself, only dropping one map on the way to the grand finals. And that map was a hard-fought battle against Rutgers. They were never out of that map. This is the team that has looked the most dominant, not only in the playoffs, but at the end of the regular season, 9-1 in their last 5 weeks, only having dropped one more map in this playoff run, knocking off Indiana 2-0. 2-1 versus Rutgers, 2-0 yesterday versus Purdue, and there was really no doubt about any of those matchups. And on the other hand, you have the number 2 seed. Some might be able to argue probably the most successful team in this conference, if not for 2 forfeit losses just with scheduling conflicts. They would have been that number 1 seed, having to go down to the lower bracket after losing 2-1 to Maryland. They got their revenge, 2-1 versus Michigan State, 2-1 in probably the best match of our tournament so far against Rutgers. I don't think anyone can argue that. 2-1 versus Michigan, 2-1 versus Purdue. Are you sensing a theme on that one, Explo?
I'm sensing a theme. However, I just see if maybe 3 is the limit, or they've just been trying to break that ceiling, because it's a best of 5 today, which means we see all but one map. And let's go see what we're doing over there, set of the map screen. Comey, this looks very different. And for people who don't really know how, if they're new to, this might be their first, esports tournament or whatever, talk me through what we're seeing here.
So we are looking at all 5 of the maps available in the competitive map pool for our tournament. And what we are seeing at the top is not only a ban, but we are seeing a map already won for Wisconsin. This is a best of 5, but as a little treat, a little bit of a reward for making it through the upper bracket unscathed, the team coming from that upper bracket side does get a 1 map advantage. So not only do you not have to play the map that you were going to ban anyway, and we've seen Wisconsin ban bind every single time we've seen them play, you get that as a map win. that was what Purdue and Wisconsin were fighting for in that upper bracket final yesterday. And Wisconsin took it home, and therefore they are not going to take us to bind. And then we are going to head over to Icebox, Wisconsin's map. This is the map that they have made their own. I was doing a little bit of research, Expo. Do you want to hear a fun stat from Wisconsin on Icebox?
Hit me.
So they're 100% win rate on Icebox. We know that.
Well, okay.
We know that. That's nothing particularly exciting. In the playoffs.
Yep.
A 91.7% attack win rate.
Okay.
And they're starting off on attack.
Oh no.
91.7% on this map. That's how we are starting things off, and things are going to get uncomfortable for Illinois very fast. We have never seen them on Icebox, not only in these playoffs, but also in this tournament as well. We head over to Ascent, a map that Wisconsin has shown that they have an extreme proficiency on, as well as Illinois. That is going to be similar to the slugfest that we saw between Illinois and Purdue last night. Then we head over to Haven, a map that Wisconsin humanized Rutgers on, and a map that makes Illinois look human. And then, should we get there, the granddaddy of them all, the Game 5, where else would we be headed but on to Split? I mean, this is what I love about a best of 5. This is what I love about best of 3s, best of 5s. This really tests each team's map pool, and Wisconsin, coming from the upper bracket, gets to dictate that map pool. They don't have to play bind, a map that they don't play on. But what this shows is that Wisconsin is prepared on every single one of these other maps, and we've seen it throughout this tournament, Explo.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit scared going in for Illinois, because obviously Wisconsin start with that one map advantage, then head to Icebox, where we've got 91.87% attacking win rate for Wisconsin. They start there. I'm not going to try and figure out what that is per half, but it's at least over 10, right? That's not brilliant. That's not a great start for a first half. Head to Ascent, and also that puts them up 2-0, which means they only need one game. So if everything goes as it should do statistically, Illinois have no choice but to reverse sweep them. And sure, Ascent, they can win. Haven, it's going to be hard, but they have shown that they are very capable of at least getting to that point just before they can close it out. And if they figure out how to do that, they can take that. Then we head to Split. Wisconsin's magic trick. Pulled it out the bag, never played it before playoffs, wiped the floor with Indiana going in, and sure, Illinois managed to take out Michigan, but Michigan were the 8th seed, and it's still, like, there was definitely a world where Michigan could have taken that map. So Illinois definitely going to be playing on the back foot here, and I think objective number 1, upset Wisconsin on Icebox, and that is going to be a massive test.
I mean, I'm almost writing off Icebox. Completely. I don't know how prepared Illinois is going to be coming into that. But that being said, this Illinois that we saw on Split last night, I mean, they hadn't played Split. We knew nothing about Illinois Split, and they came out and looked dominant. And the one thing about this Illinois squad, I'm not saying they're not tactical, but they're very similar to Wisconsin in that it is a very frag-heavy style, a very pick-heavy style, a rolling death ball, if you will. And that plays into Illinois' favor. You don't necessarily have to have a lot of hours on a map. You don't necessarily have to have logged all of the lineups, have all of these set plays, have contingency plans for the set plays. If your style is the way that Illinois runs, and that's just click heads. And that sounds a little bit basic, and it almost sounds like it's like an insult, like almost. But that's not an insult when you have the fragging potential. And we saw that yesterday. Milk, out of his mind. J1, out of his mind. Paddock, out of his mind. Poopin' GJ, out of his mind. And Lidist, out of his mind. All of these players are so talented, so frag heavy, that even if they don't necessarily have a game plan, all Paddock has to say is, hey guys, gather up. We're going to go A. click on heads, bada boom, bada bing. And that's why they win so many of those eco rounds with those sheriffs in their hands. They're absolutely deadly. They're unbridled aggression. And that this is really going to be the first time that we've seen Wisconsin get tested by a team with that play style.
Yeah. I mean, this is fighting fire with fire in the biggest definition of that. Now, you've just gone through the whole list of everyone in Illinois, as said, out of their mind. So I'm gonna make you pick and choose here. Out of everybody, who do you think is gonna be the biggest player or players to take this series and decide it? Who do you think is gonna be that one or two, maybe that one player versus one player that is gonna be able to have a massive impact here?
So I went down the entire list of Illinois and labeled every single one of them a star fragger, but I could do the exact same thing for Wisconsin. You have Goxter, duelist extraordinaire. You have Bean Boy. I mean, one of the most underrated players in our conference. He 1v5 Sentinels.
Sentinels Destroyer. I was gonna bring that up.
He has his own copy pastas now. We have Arthwook, who showed up massive yesterday. Bugsy the Bean, who showed up massive yesterday. And then you have Neebs, the best Sova in this entire conference. So all of these players are such big X factors, such big fragging potential across the entire board. I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path. I'm not going to highlight fraggers. I'm not going to highlight stats. I think this comes down to the mind of Paddock versus the mind of Bugsy the Bean. Both of these players, big brain. 200 IQ, one on controller, one pretty much fills whatever his team needs. We saw him run a lot of Viper yesterday. These players, with their mid-round calling, with their ability to improvise, play such a big role that goes beyond the stat sheet for both of these squads that the fragging almost becomes a moot point, and both of them can frag. Both of them can frag. That's the thing. If one of these players shows up big with the star potential that we know they have, combine that with the brain that we've been seeing from them across this entire tournament, that's going to be the team that wins. Expo, who are you looking at to be those difference makers in today's game?
Well, I am going to go with the fraggers, and it mainly comes down to Bean Boy versus Milk. There we go. I completely blank. Bean Boy versus Milk. This is going to be a ridiculous battle, and it really could decide the momentum, because I did some stats. Apparently, we just can't do the same thing at the same time. So I looked at, obviously, I couldn't look at like total kills because Illinois have almost played like double the games that Wisconsin
That
had.
doesn't count.
So,
we can't use that necessarily.
Yeah, I did do it up. It was like 125 for Bean Boy in playoffs, and then like 291 for Milk. So like, you know, but that mean anything. So I averaged it out between the games, and actually, these guys are very close. Even though looking at the games individually, it looks like Milk has an edge, because Milk had one game where he got 29 kills across the whole in one game, and Bean Boy has yet to really get a steamroll going. But if you look at the averages, it's something like Bean Boy's on like 18.4 average kills per game, and Milk is on 19.4. So these two guys are neck and neck, really one pick between them. And I think if Bean Boy can activate and if Milk can activate at the same time, then, I mean, yeah, you can command them all they want, but the round might be over before you even get to call your strat. But, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really come down to anything more than that. It's just, we saw Milk. Captain Awesome said he was the MVP for Illinois last series against Michigan, and I think again against Purdue as well.
He was.
And, yeah, and Bean Boy, Bean Boy's Bean Boy. So you can't really, I mean, it just comes down to who got the most sleep, who's chugged the most various energy drink brands, who's
good call.
Yeah, who's who's got the most caffeine coursing through their veins, how much percentage of their blood is coffee instead. And I mean, that I think you have a point in the big brains, but I think you can have a massive brain, but if you don't have people around you, if the people around you who you are relying on to go in and you say, hey, Bean Boy, go clear that out, and he dies straight away, it doesn't matter what plan you can come up with. So I'm really hoping that both these players are on it today, and should they be on it, we are in for an amazing series.
I mean, we've seen Bean Boy get activated. We've seen Milk now get activated. J1 change back to his normal account. I'm looking at the lobby now. So Frazee. So that provides a little
He's
bit
back.
a little bit more clarity on exactly what we're doing today. So making the calls just a little bit easier for our head's sake. But I mean, we've seen Frazee activated. We've seen Milk activated. We've seen Bean Boy activated. We've seen Bugsy. We've seen Neebs activated. I mean, so many of these players, so much star potential across the board. Let's hit a quick prediction, Explo. Let's go map by map. Obviously, Bind, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Wisconsin's going to win Bind.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous.
So bold for me. I'm going to
Yeah.
give Wisconsin Icebox. I'm going to give Illinois Ascent, and I'm going to give Illinois Haven, which means I think we're going 5 maps. We're going to split. And my call, I'm going to call the upset, baby. Wisconsin's winning this whole thing in 5.
You know, that's exactly what I was going to say, actually. I mean, I think, I don't know. I feel like you could say if it was anyone else, if this was Rutgers, if this was somehow Michigan, right? You could say, if they manage to get 2 games into a reverse sweep, that momentum is going to push them through and they can go through on that 3rd map. But what do we know about Illinois? They can't. They really struggle to close out games that they should win, and that's why they take everything to three maps, right? Or they struggle to just get that final touch. And I feel like when it comes through a reverse sweep, where you've got to be versatile on every map, and you've got, if they do take Icebox, which I think is a formality at this point, unless they've got something ridiculous in store, you can't be as, I don't know if inconsistent is the right word, but you can't be as touch and go as they have shown to be. And has Illinois even taken 3 maps in a row at all? I didn't actually look at the order. They probably have at some point, because a lot of the time they reverse sweep or get reverse swept, so they have to. I don't know, but yeah, I think, I don't know. I just, something about it. I'm not as confident going in as I am that Wisconsin, who have proven themselves to be one of the best teams that we have, one of the best teams on the East Coast, probably in the country as well, and they've come so far. And I know that these guys are they are ready. I was speaking to them. They think they're going to 3-0 this. They think they're just going to run through. We'll be done in 2 hours and we'll be done. But I mean, I feel like Illinois, if you underestimate them, we know that they can take 3 games. We can take it to 3 games against opposition they should probably be sweeping. But we know that the ability to take series long, that is a quality of that team, and I don't think we're going to see anything. It might be that we see 3-1, and I won't be completely surprised. But I just feel like there's something there in Illinois that wants to take every single series the distance, and it's completely non-scientific. It's literally looking at evidence and making up complete rubbish about it. But I just feel like it would only be appropriate to go to 5 games. So I'm going the same as you. Bind an Icebox, go over to Wisconsin. Illinois get 2, and then Wisconsin shut them down after that.
You gave a lot better logical backing of exactly what you were saying, but we both came to the same conclusion. We're both picking Wisconsin to win this, but Illinois has been a team of surprises, and they're a team that's played to the level of their opponents. They played a little bit down to Michigan State. They played a little bit down to Maryland, but boy, when they needed to, they've elevated their game, like against Rutgers, like against Michigan, like against Purdue, and they're going to have to elevate their game, but we have made you wait long enough. The grand finals is upon us. We are going to go to a quick word from Corsair, and then we are going to check out the agent compositions. We are going into map 1 or map 2, depending upon how you look at it, into agent selection when we come back. Stick around.
All right, Illinois, this is the time that you can flip this entire series on your head. We've said it, and everyone's been thinking it. This is what Wisconsin are relying on to get themselves onto that match point and force the reverse sweep out of a team that struggles to get maps together consistently. If they can pull something out the bag here and turn this map for their own, and we got a 1-1, the entire series and all the game plans, including both of our predictions, go out of the window.
Yeah, we're writing this map off like a foregone conclusion, but similar, like I said, to Split, we haven't seen Illinois on this, and their composition looking like it's actually going to step up pretty nicely. Obviously, we're going to have Milk on Jet. My man's an absolute menace and an absolute menace on this map as a Jet. Or a Jet can be an absolute menace on this round. We're seeing Paddock hovering the Astra of a character that we see him very, very comfortable on. Littest on the Sova, Poop and GJ taking the stage, and we are waiting on Freisty, looking like he's going to lock in the Viper, actually.
Double Viper. Okay.
So Viper v Viper, most likely both on the B side, as Bugsy picking up the Viper. We saw what he can do with that. Goxter on Raze, Beamboy on Reyna, Arthwook on Sage, Neebs on Sova. And we're gaming. We're gaming. These compositions actually stack up so well against each other and just lead to just a little bit of a different play style. We're going to see the same aggressive play style that we see typically from Illinois, especially with that Jet being involved, taking so much territory, and Goxter being on the Raze, much more of a defensive duelist, a lot more potential to lock down sites. This attacking half has so much potential for Wisconsin just based off of the composition, but you can never underestimate the shots that Illinois is able to hit.
No, and this Viper, which actually was swapped over to the Sage really quickly by Poop and GJ, can be very interesting because, what is it, 91.87 is the magic number, the percentage of rounds that Wisconsin win on their attacking side. So I would have thought we would have seen a composition that was essentially built around keeping Wisconsin at bay, starting on this attacking side, but I think a Viper might have been perfect for that. Interesting to bring out the Sage, though. Want to block off that tube, restrict that kitchen area, really make the map a little bit less dimensional. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, round 1 of the Big Time Season 1 Grand Finals. It's Illinois versus Wisconsin. First off, Illinois pushing straight through. 2-for-1 trade, though, in the favor of Wisconsin, and Milk will have to be called on to try and get one back here. He's used up his dash and putting down the Cloudburst, might just have to leave. I think he's been afforded a little bit of free space, but oh, hang on the flank here.
Last player standing.
Jay and Milk managed to get one each, and Arthwook is left to his own devices. Managed to heal up after taking out Milk. Will get just about up to full. Yeah, all the way up to full to get the spike down. And it's Sage versus Sage. Thankfully, no Viper to throw down those snake bites, so might actually be able to defuse the spike here, but this is going to get real difficult. It's one of those sites where they just could be anywhere.
I mean, with that wall and with the plant, Poopin GJ knows pretty much exactly where Arthwook is going to be. He doesn't expect the flank. Poopin GJ, the clutchest player in this tournament, going to come around on the flank, and he is going to win that round for the boys. I don't know exactly what we were seeing there. From Arthwook, not paying attention to the possibility of that wrap. Really, the only angle that he could have come without hearing something, he would have either had to go up ropes, jump onto rafters, and swing out to kill him from that angle, or at the very least put up the wall. You hear all of those sound cues, so for him to have his back turned, just a bit of a miscalculation and a little bit of nerves going into this final round. But that is a massive defensive round, when defense being so hard on this map. And we've already seen the first pistol round from Illinois. That is the 7th pistol in a row, including the knife round against Purdue. And guns being bought into this. Arthwook and the boys from Wisconsin pushing heavy towards that A side already.
Oh, Patek trying to be on the right side of this wall, and he is, and there's 2 for 1. Goxter manages to get one. I think that's his first as well. It is with that boom bot, and he will manage to get the spike down. There's no one really here to immediately play the pressure on. Oh, that's a lovely jump from Milk across, but B-Boy says no and shuts him out. 3 players pushing straight through. Beanboy, you're in a lot of trouble here. Gotta get out this distraction with the dismiss, and now it's only Bugsy to play Snakebite Simulator. Let's see if he's got his lineup correct.
He's getting hunted.
Oh, yeah. Lidis pushing straight through. That Snakebite, I think, is good. This is the worst guy. This is the grand final. What was that? But they'll be okay. Illinois have grabbed a pistol round and a bonus round in the grand final on a map that... Well, okay, hang on. If it's 91%, I'm not going to try and do this properly, but that's at least 10, right? That's at least 10 every half. I believe it
was 11. No, it was 10-2. It was 10-2.
So they are already putting up a decent fight to reduce that percentage. And, you know, if I'm not going to say that maybe Wisconsin are off their game here, but if they can get even, you know, 4 to 8, that is still doable.
No, I mean, that's more than doable. This Wisconsin attack is absolutely deadly, and we're seeing a tactical pause already from the side of Illinois. Off of the back of this round is so important for them. They need, I'm not going to say they need to win it, but they need to do damage on this defensive side so hard on this map, especially on A, and especially playing against a team like Wisconsin, who has so much map knowledge, so much really adeptness on attack, pushing them to their limits, getting an 8-4, getting maybe even a 9-3 almost seems necessary with the way that we've seen Wisconsin get on attack, and this bonus round could be absolutely massive for them because that almost guarantees 4 rounds. We've seen a couple highlight plays from Wisconsin on a lower buy. Beanboy with the ace to win the map yesterday on Icebox versus Purdue comes to mind, but I mean, Wisconsin is a little bit more frag heavy. They're not the type to lose those rounds. And I think this bonus round, I mean, even if it's not the end of the world for them, it plays such a huge important role, and that's why we're seeing this tack called right now.
Yeah, this is pretty important, as you said, because I think even Illinois could probably pull 5 out of this, like, if they manage to win this round out. And going 5-7 going into attack here against Illinois is pretty impressive, and it would be a very much change of pace, let's say that much. But I want to talk a little bit about Patek running the Astra here over any sort of other controller, because sure, he's yet to sort of get fully invested so far. He's only got, 1 kill so far, but I think it's really interesting picking the Astra, because I feel like he's going to, it's the only smokes that they have other than the Cloudburst, but I don't think they really count in my book. They're only 4 seconds, and they're pretty small, and, you know, whatever. But I am looking to him to try and do some stuff that you don't normally see, because Astra, as far as I can remember, is not hugely popular, especially under the Viper that we normally see. And I think the switch off from PUBG onto the Sage means that Patek is going to be so vital here. 5 smokes are available to him, and I think maybe he wants to play safe, stay alive, and really could hold things back. And it's also more, it's a more aggressive and what's the term, less committed controller compared to Viper, right? Because he can pick up any of these stars that he's currently placing down, thanks for the demo, that he's placing down. And on a defensive side, on a map that's very quick to rotate, or even on an attacking side, I think he might do better to be playing this than the Viper, but I'll have to see as this game develops how that goes down. And we are back in game after this tack pause is over. Milk taking a lot of pressure straight away and just can't find the kill. It's Goxter though. Oh, look at this early pressure from PUBG. It's shut out. I admire that they're trying this aggressive push, but it's not quite working. And that's going to allow everyone to push straight through B now. Only Frosty to try and hold them back, and that's not even going to work.
Every single one of these fights that Wisconsin has had, they've had 2 players on the angle. They've been ready immediately for the trade. Granted, you know, it's been the first player swinging to win the gunfight, but they looked much better on this attacking round, and we see Goxter more than ready for this flank. Unfortunately for him, Lidis more than ready for the Sheriff peak. and now it just comes down to him and Paddock, and he wants
No, no.
He
he
wants
didn't
this
do it
knife so bad.
yesterday. He didn't do
Candy
it
cane out.
yesterday.
Let's go! Oh, we got a Bugsy the Bean knife in the first gun round of the game. Illinois, you know,
Game over. Game over.
Game over.
Series done. They've won it. They've won it.
Bugsy getting his knife at, and he's typing in chat already. This is the Wisconsin that we love to see, but now Wisconsin has guns. Frasty bringing out the operator, full rifles, full shield on everyone else. This is by no means a done deal by any stretch of the imagination, but it is good to see that knife.
And now Bugsy will be living in their head rent-free. They will never not check a corner ever again. Because you don't want that to be happening twice in one game, let alone twice in a series. But Tech's spending a lot of time in that astral form, really picking and choosing when he wants to go ahead with these and commit them. Out goes one Nebula. And it's a little bit more reserved here from Wisconsin, after getting themselves on the board.
And
Still chilling.
I have the spike.
Still chilling around, not really doing too much, but they might look to a commit towards A now.
They're looking to commit towards A, but they have drawn out the full rotation with no noise being made on A, and now it is just Paddock left over here, going to go up against a four-pronged push as we see Bugsy lurk towards mid, and now with that Viper smoke activated, the gun, everything going into effect, and it's going to be an attack on A, and Paddock does a good job of getting one. Unfortunately, that is all he's going to be able to get.
Oh, Frasty, you can shoot that. There's no wall to be put up. Oh, I can't help but think about the kill that could have been there, but let's just have to hope that it comes around again. Another opportunity for it. 2v4, make that 2v5, and now Wisconsin in a little bit of a rough position. Goxter taken to the skies and shot down like a clay pigeon. And Neves will follow the same fate soon enough. It's going to be 3 now for Illinois on this defensive side. They've got something here that is holding back Wisconsin. Their retakes have been really quite good, and by the time that the spike is down, Wisconsin have lost normally one or two, and that res is key. And now solidifying themselves 9-3, get this to 8-4. God, 7-5 is even on the cards here, and they could be very happy to try and challenge for this map.
I mean, we're seeing the Illinois that we saw on Split yesterday. You may not necessarily have scrimmed this map a bunch of times. You may not have insane strats, but you do have a team of insane fraggers, and that res means 5 alive through that first gun round. Goxter relegated down to a sheriff with the full shield, rifles all around him, and Milk doing such a good job of taking early territory in that maze area. But Frasty sneaking around, going to get rid of Neves, and that's not necessarily a gun loss, but that is your Sova gone. That's the spike down in B main. Such a huge pick to find, but Beanboy going to even things up.
Yeah. Oh, the wall goes down at a terrible time for Lidist. But Beanboy doesn't manage to come away with it. Milk's now going to join the party. Plant that spike, Gok. No, just going to hold off and hand it over. Neeb's rezzed up, so 4v5. Spike finally going down. Now they're going to look to pile on the pressure. They never got it down. It was interrupted. Lidis gets Bugsy. Down goes the spike now. And Wisconsin, you have to go and try and commit and get that back. But it might just be that they hold them down. Lidis tagged up. They still have held it hostage. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Both of them coming out straight away. And it looks like Neebs, he's just got that edge that the other Sovas don't. Manages to pick off Lidis.
30 seconds left.
And the spike still not down yet. They need to make a move, but Neebs and Arthur are both down. And it's up to Beanboy to make this happen. Takes out the tech, but Milk through the wall knows exactly where he is. They just could not get the spike down, and that was the key to winning that round for Illinois, who are now 4-1 in the lead on this defensive side. And this is going far better than it could have. Might be able to find Arthur pretty quickly, but there's a little bit of damage. It's not going to be enough, though. Gokster, 75 health. He's not in a great position. Spike over here. Arthur only on 45, actually, so worse for wear. But he does have access to that spike. Protect, if you push this, you could get a few kills on the board here. But he wants to make sure that he's not being too aggressive. Doesn't want to give up that lead that they've worked so hard to get. And they still haven't quite gone and got that spike yet. Frasty might be able to interrupt them here. Oh, that's not great timing. Neebs just avoids him. The shot goes wide. They will manage to get that spike control. Might look to go towards A, but there are 4 players guarding this. And it's really not going to be easy.
The full rotation has been baited out to A, and now with that cosmic divide up, there's no information for them. The dart going to scan 1, but the gravity well down. There's just no way for them to push through that site. They are is going to allow Arthur to get the orb, but Paddock 3 and 4 with the classic. Absolutely insane. Astra played to absolute perfection. We are seeing tactical crouching coming out, and not from the Wisconsin side. Illinois getting into it and getting into it early, and a 5-1 lead on Wisconsin's first map pick. This is a brand new Illinois. I said they played down to their competition or played even to their competition. Right now, they are playing out and up and above their competition, not only with frags, but with these site holds, with these mid-round reads. And we are seeing just Wisconsin getting punched in the teeth. They need to punch back with this gun round.
Yeah, this is, well, look at the money that they've got left. No one really over 1,000. Not looking to take some out of the hands and steal them back, but gonna have to be forced to withdraw. Well, both players on the lowest area you can be on this site. And the Gokster on this elevated position might be able to make something work. Actually, a lot of them on these elevated positions. Arthur goes down, though. Nice work from Protect. He's gonna go for more. Takes one down to half. That's Bugsy. Might be able to pick off Gokster. They just don't have a way in here, Wisconsin. They're making it very hard, Illinois, for them. That pick for Bugsy might be good enough. And down goes Bean Boy as well. No immediate flank, but it looks like they're going to withdraw anyway. And Poop and GJ could go massive here. They're about to walk out one at a time. Down goes one. Backs away. Doesn't want to be overwhelmed too quickly. And now he's got 3 more to work with. Spike down as well here if he can find that kill into Neebs. The Bean Boy down. Neebs is going to be able to survive though. Not for long. He thought he had won the battle, but he didn't win the war. Frasty manages to come away with 1. It's only Gokster left. He has got spike control, but with Lidis pushing straight through mid, this is going to get real desperate. Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be the kill straight away, but I guess he's been allowed to survive a little bit longer. But yeah, I don't see him coming back into this. 18 seconds left. Frasty's hunting him. This is as good as done.
And with the spike control being taken early, that is perfect rotations coming out from the side of Illinois. You had Lidis retake mid as Frasty backed off to get a new angle with the operator. And since he's bought that operator, it's 4 rounds in a row. He is controlling any area that he wants to control, even using it as a flank weapon, getting that pick. And Bugsy the Bean that we saw making the calls, yesterday on this map versus Purdue, the mid-round calls seemingly have gone missing, or Illinois is just out-reading them. And this is a little bit odd to watch. I've never seen Wisconsin, or at least not seen Wisconsin in these playoffs, struggle this much on one of their attacking sides.
All right, from GJ, chance number 2. Down goes 1, but he can't get 2. Yeah, I'm just gonna rush straight through 2. The wall never went up. That means that, well, this attack gets a little bit out of character. Milk might have to be the one called on. Frasty also waiting around with that operator. With that full kitchen control, gonna drop down. There's a few of them. Maybe Milk can swing through the back here and get a few. Lidis gets 1. Milk also gets 1. Bean Boy cut down. It's only Neebs who was looking for any sort of picky. Yeah, only got a sheriff. Might want to rifle and withdraw, but this is really not going very well. And now Illinois with this will have secured themselves a positive half against Wisconsin. 91.87% attacking win rate, they said. It'll be a roll, they said. But I guess not. Well, I'm going to test your memory here. What was the... Do you know what Purdue's... Did we never see Purdue on Icebox, or had we seen them once? I don't think we'd seen them before, had we?
We had not seen them before on Icebox either.
See, I don't know now whether this is just the first real pushback that they've had, because I don't know if maybe just Purdue were just not on it for Icebox. And I know some teams, when they don't do Icebox a lot, it is really, really bad. I think Wisconsin thought this was going to be a real easy, and to be fair, so did we. And now they're going into a half at least negative, and it's gonna get not much easier.
No, it's going to get significantly harder, especially if they can't win this round. Beamboy on light shield, 0 credits left to his name, Arthwook's name, and Goxer's name. This is yet another break round in 7 rounds already on the board. We do have that Viper's Pit available. We do have Goxter with the kill and also with the showstopper, and that takes out the Jet. But I mean, there's still Astra's Cosmic Divide, and there's still that that Empress available in the hands of I almost said Beanboy, in the hands of Fracy. I'm so used to calling it for Beanboy, but that spike is going to go down. The Viper's Pit going to go up. They know where Litist is, but the Cosmic Divide coming up makes this incredibly uncomfortable to hold this Viper's Pit.
Yeah. Cuts it in half, and Litist trying to pile through. Might be able to get a recon bolt out. This is a game of extraction now. Get that Viper dead, because that makes it so much easier, and anyone that's caught out at the time is going to be an easy pick if they feel like they were safe. Arthwook is one of those. He just manages to get away with his life. He's being pretty aggressive in here. Protect goes down, and Litist has his number. 2v4. I don't know if that Viper's Pit is still up. It's about to run out. But it's only Frasty left with 23 health. And Neebs says hello. Beanboy and Neebs also died to the spike, but it was going to get a lot harder if they didn't win this. It was a little bit more expensive than maybe they would have liked to, but for now, they can at least try and push for maybe that 4 and even that 5th.
They needed to win that round, and those 2 players going down, going to not allow any bank to be built up. There were 5 players alive at that point. There was a snake bite on the spike. I don't know how they let that go off. We're going to see a rifle and full shield in the hands of 3 Neebs, Bugsy, and Goxter, but still such low money. And if they lose this round, their economy is broken again. Those players dying to spike, so costly, but that is a good dart scene too. Arthwook almost falling to that early pick from Paddock, and now the push to A, off to a very hot start.
Yeah, Arthwook being a little bit disabled, but now Beanboy has protect, and now there's going to be no more gravity wells. There's a showstopper though for Goxter. We'll get one, that res onto the Beanboy also. It's going to mean we're going into here 3v5, and an operator in the hands of Frasty in this close range is not going to be great. Just trying to find any sort of angle that he can. Lidis can't really make any ground, but there's some ground. Now they've brought it even, and look how low some of these players are. Goxter and Arthwook both just over or under half health. Arthwook looking to be pulled out of this equation, though. They don't want him here. Yeah, they're all just charging straight for him. Goxter actually goes down before him, manages to outlive him. Pushing straight through, will get one of his own, but eventually will fall. Now it's up to Bugsy. Down goes one. Milk caught flying. Lidis falls as well. Oh, he almost had Frasty. Bugsy could have been the hero there. It's just not going to be the case. Frasty, 21 health to his name. He's going to get himself that defuse and give Illinois round number 8. This is not right. This is not how I predicted, and I don't think anyone reasonably would have predicted unless you are following with your heart.
No, I don't think there's any way that you see this coming. Maybe you see a 6-6 half, maybe a 7-5, but best case scenario on the attack on Icebox for Wisconsin is 8-4, and even that is not looking good. Those 2 players dying to spike with no economy built up led to that full investment into that round, and with all 5 of those players dying, even with the spike going down, we are going to see them relegated down to pistols against yet another full rifle buy, full operator in the hands of Fracy, who has had it every round since round 5. And I mean, this is a Wisconsin team that's getting punched repeatedly in the teeth and really having no response. I mean, I think honestly, if I'm speaking logically, best case scenario, this is a 9-3 half. I don't see them winning this round with pistols.
We'll have to see if they can channel their inner Illinois and come out of this one. Sheriff Masterclass. Up goes the wall, which does isolate Milk for the time being, but MGJ is going to put a hole in that, but it does close down that angle, which makes it a little bit easier for the Sheriffs to operate within. The spike still isn't down, actually. They haven't really found time for it. Arthwook forced to use the heal on himself, and still 5v5. Protect looking to swing this, maybe taken down a little bit by that shot dart, and now needs to get the spike down, but he just doesn't commit to it. Look, Protect managed to get 2. Arthur responds with 1. Neebs around this corner maybe. GJ takes out Arthur, gets a second as well. It's only Neebs. He can run for that Phantom. He's going to try and make the mad dash and does so. There's another one on Protect. Now this is slightly winnable. One in the chamber needs to get that kill. That's the operator shot missed. Reloading though. Oh, just didn't have enough in it. And Lidis will come away with the kill. And as you said, 9-2. Looking for 9-3 here, Wisconsin. And it's one of those, if you treat others poorly, they'll treat you poorly. Because this is a taste of their own medicine. Who do have given Illinois some pointers perhaps. And told them how to not fall like they did. And they've literally pushed it straight back in their face.
I mean, this is the Illinois that we saw in the regular season. This is the Illinois that is so damn good. They're a 2 seed for a reason, and they are going absolutely out of this world good on this map. The wall comes down in that mid push already stopped. Rotations not quite drawn out yet, but 2 players on B. The rotation of the Sage to mid and Milk looking out on this push. And finally a wrap that has worked out, an opening pick from Goxer, but we've seen Illinois convert on these rounds before as well, but at least a good sign going into this 3rd round. But there goes your heal.
And there goes your Silver as well. Bugsy the Bean might think he's got a little bit more support than he does. Beanboy just cleaning up frags, but really, this is where the action's happening. Frasty has to find his kill onto Beanboy, but he's just evaded and managed to get off site. Spike is down. This is a little bit of a weird position to have to try and defend this site from, because you're going to literally be attacked by every angle. Bugsy holding close, doesn't want anyone to drop out a window, and he's right there, but Bugsy gets the best of him. Protect, looking for this kill onto Goxter. The paint shells pushes him away. Frasty has managed to get himself a rifle, so this might get a little bit easier. Goxter push straight up Shub in the kitchen. Frasty tags up the spike, but there's the snake bite. That's going to be his life. Protect, wow, he's not got many options left. No time left, really. He's just going to go for it. And no, that's just not going to work. They come away with it 9-3 at the end of the half, but you know, it's limited success because that could have been so much more and should have been, really, if you looked at the history.
That's not the attack half that you want. I mean, that pretty much goes without saying, but I mean, I think we both underestimated how much Illinois was going to come to play, but there is a pistol round to be had. Crazier things have happened than a comeback being down 3-9, and the pistol round is where it starts. We're seeing 3 ghosts brought out for this Wisconsin side, looking to take a little bit of those longer duels, which is an interesting way to hold on defense. And we see the double duelist composition with 2 frenzies. We are going to see a fast play from those boys, and Goxer already getting into a little bit of a weird position, a good off angle, but not seeing anything initially. Going to drop back, fall back, rotate, and now 3 players on A versus 3 players on A for each of these teams, and the rotation's going to be fast and heavy. We already have mid presence from Beanboy.
What do you have to do to get back in this game but destroy the 7 streak on pistol round from Illinois? A team that could previously never win them, come out into playoffs, come out swinging, and currently, well, yeah, 7 in a row. They have to try and shut that out, and they've not started very well. Frasty with this frenzy. Oh, this peek up into kitchen could be massive. They're literally all lining up for him. Missed the jump once, but here it is. Trying to just get that 13 bullets to go where he wants, but there's not a lot in that chamber. They're just giving him a little bit of relief. He just can't find it, but still, 2v4. This is really not very good for Wisconsin. Not got a whole lot of time. It continues to tick down. They have to try and take out 4 very widespread members on very different ranges of gunfight. Down goes half of them, and Poopin GJ dinked up but not killed. And oh, the streak continues. The blessing of the gods continues. They managed to take pistol round number 8 on the road, and I mean, surely at some point in this series, it's got to stop, right?
I don't know. I don't know if it has to stop. I truly don't. This Illinois squad looking so good on the day, winning that pistol round, getting to double digits, not allowing a window back into this. But off of the back of that, we do have to see a force buy coming through from Wisconsin. They are going to buy all the way down to 0. Spectres, pistols in the hands versus 4 Spectres, or excuse me, 3 Spectres, a Vandal, and a Marshal in the hands of Paddock. And Bugsy with the top position going to play a huge role early in this round. And Milk is ready for it. Bugsy's down. There goes your controller. And already such a bad position. Fracey on the flank, dinking down. Reyna down to 1 HP. And things have gone from bad to worse for Wisconsin on this map.
Wisconsin are trying to push them out and trying to just squeeze them, but they're just not being given anything. They can't even get out of garage over on B. The heal goes over to Beam Boy, so a little bit of solace there, over half at least. And now everything has been cut. The sound's been cut, no utility being used, but at least they know that they are not rotating out, and that's what those flanks give you. So Tech, taking his time, going to be setting up these stars, but still going to be watching the flank, and PUBG puts up his wall. Down goes the spike as well, with little resistance. Beam Boy was healed, and now he's back. He's worse off than when he started. He's down to 6 health. He's really going to have to catch someone by surprise if he wants to find a kill here. But Milk is just playing far too Klaus. Klaus? Klaus is the name of a German man. Close is what I meant to say. PUBG. Oh, all the Sages trading out, and it's going to be Battle Sage Central, it seems. Frosty going to be very close on this spike. There's only really one way through. Actually, no, here's a second one over the ropes, but it doesn't matter. Frosty pushing forward, gonna use that dismiss and get that kill off the Neebs as well. And oh, 11-3. And Illinois, they're taking these pistol round advantages as best as they can get them. And this could be, you know, one of the, a real swing map, because depending on how Wisconsin take this afterwards, granted that Illinois win this, it could be really dangerous for them going into the other maps.
I mean, this is a map that they had almost that they, and pretty much everyone at home, other than people from Champaign-Urbana, have locked into a map for Wisconsin, and they got kicked in the teeth, 11-3, money in the toilet, another force buy coming in, and Paddock putting it into Bugsy the Bean again. And that's the matchup that we highlighted. The fast flank coming around, 3 players on it. Are they ready for it? Needs to show up pretty darn big in this scenario. Just needs to keep them as busy as possible for this flank to work out, but things just not looking great.
Yeah, there's no one holding that flank, but he cannot give over defender side spawn. He just cannot. That's really going to give him a lot of room to work with. And maybe Wisconsin need to move a little bit faster. Down goes Milk. There's a good start. Playing under, PUBG going to be taken out as well. Pateg is the last to fall. And Lidist, well, he just died in a split second. He probably doesn't even know what hit him. It's a good start for Wisconsin, but really the only reason that worked is because Illinois did not leave someone to watch that flank. And I don't know why they did, because they know that they were keen to do so. They did it the round previous, but they've got a lot of time to work and theory craft strategy, so I don't think they're that worried.
No, I mean, there's still a long way to go, but that round, if the comeback was going to happen, needed to go that way and needed to go as cleanly as it did. Now 5 rifles brought in, going up against 5 pistols for Illinois. But a reminder, this is an Illinois team that wins these rounds more than any team in this conference. Their success rate on these sheriff buys is absolutely insane. And they're going to be 1 orb away from a blade storm, and we are going to see a play made for that immediately and a fast push to the A.
Neebs did a double take there as he heard the dicks come out from his recon bolt. That's going to be a Milk Blade Storm that could come up huge. He's done it once before. Can he do it again? Finest jets that we've got, but Neebs looking to shut him down. Oh no, just shot straight in the back. Bugsy looks to shut him down out as well, but just can't do it. Forced to dash away. He's only got 10 health and this sheriff to work with. Didn't manage to be the one to pick up that gun. Down goes Arthrook from Lidist. Goxter making some ground around the right side. Down goes Milk. Down goes Lidist. And now there's only Protect left to try and salvage this. There's going to be someone on the spike pushing through down at 1 HP. Does manage to take out one, but it's not the right one. Bugsy will happily sit there and just stick that spike. And Wisconsin get two on the road, 2 in a row. And maybe if they can manage to take advantage of perhaps Illinois just not thinking they're in complete danger, give that false sense of security, then maybe they can start to damage that economy. But that's the issue with Illinois, isn't it? You can you can't really, like, roll them over because every round is winnable for them, even those pistols.
I mean, you get no rounds off versus this Illinois squad. And again, no rounds off. They bought into the rifle. Fracy has the operator in his hands. We have a res available for Poopin. We have a res available for Arthur. In a major swing round, Goxer bought down, unfortunately, down to light shields and making that play on B, making that jump, taking away that territory. But just really Fracy watching that angle with an operator. Spike kind of lurking in mid while territory being taken towards A. And the rotation already somewhat shifting over towards that A side. Neeb's going to drone, see a drone, and maybe see a couple players and get that call out.
Wisconsin only saw, oh well, Neebs only saw 2, but with Hunter's Fury, that's all he wants. Bugsy having to run away from that one. Tags up Milk and Frosty, but doesn't manage to kill either of them. Now Illinois taking a little bit of a slower approach. It's going to be A nonetheless. Heal onto Milk, gets him at full health. And when and how do you want to execute this? Did Patek get his stars down? Only one. He only bought one. And wow, up it goes. Now, pushing straight through. Up goes that Poison Cloud. Bugsy might look to make an impact here. Down goes that Snake Bite. But being ever so reserved, they might just want to save this for this 5v5 retake. Oh, pushed up high. He's taking damage through that wall. Gonna want to maybe get out of dodge pretty quickly. He's now vulnerable. Bugsy looking to take that opportunity to try and find it, but that Cloudburst, he saw where it came from. It doesn't matter, managed to get out. Goxter, though, on the hunt. Can he find him? He went over the wall. Neves manages to get that kill anyway. There's that ultimate that could have been so important to this. Didn't find anything. Tech pushing down, trying to keep eyes on this fight. Doesn't want to get them that defused without any sort of work. But look at Beanboy in the back. Hunter's Fury from Lidis, still going to try and kill anyone off. He's only tagging teammates. Didn't find anything. Beanboy pushing through. Goxter is the guard, though, for Arthur. Beanboy a little bit late to the party. He'll get his as he comes straight through, though. He wasn't going to leave without anything. Well, Wisconsin put 3 on the board straight away. And looking at the economy for Illinois, I mean, it's, yeah, looks like Sheriffs again, but still, that's still dangerous.
Yeah, no, I mean, we touched on it at the beginning of that round, but there is no taking a round off when it comes to going up against Illinois. These Sheriffs as deadly as rifles in these players' hands, but a great retake. Great flank by Beanboy, and now we're starting to see Wisconsin turn things on, make this interesting, but their margin for error so low. They absolutely need to win these eco rounds and keep the money honest. They need to win them cleanly, and Neebs getting a pick on Fracy there, absolutely huge, but will they be ready for the split?
Second from Neebs, and one from Goxter to come through as well, and now it's only Poop and GJ. He managed to get one, but this is real rough. They are just going to fully aggress. It's the Wisconsin way. And, well, he's tagged up, so that's even worse. And it's just a matter of time, really, unless he does something absolutely magical and manages to pick off all 3 of these guys at the same time. See if he can get maybe just one. No, not going to happen. Arthur will get his res out of that one as well. And it's 7 rounds. There's 4 in a row. And things might start to get a little bit worried in the Illinois camp.
You know, we just have a habit of writing teams off too early. We had pretty much written off Illinois coming in. We had written off Wisconsin after the first half, and now 4 rounds in a row, and that was a decisive victory for them in that pistol round. And now things starting to get sketchy, but that loss bonus looking pretty, so it is going to be 2 rounds in a row no matter how these play out, with rifles in the hands of Illinois. And now ultimates starting to be brought out. We have the Cosmic Divide, Res, and Empress available for Illinois, and for Wisconsin, we have the Empress and we have the Resurrection available for them in this incredibly important round. And this is the first time that we're going to see Goxter really get tested on this B site.
And he fails. He didn't study. Did not study for that test at all. He walked in thinking it was biology, but it was chemistry, actually. Beanboy did a little bit of studying, but has to back away and maybe look at his phone to get those results. This analogy's gone on far too long. I'm going to stop now. Arthur pushing forward. There goes down the spike, and it's just not been planted, and that's something that you don't want to try and make that mistake, because it's what kept Wisconsin out the game. Not getting that spike down. That Cosmic Divide can cause problems. Can't fire through that long angle. Neebs doesn't manage to get anything through his recon bolt now. As things settle down a little bit, this Cosmic Divide slows down the game so much. Bugsy might look for a flank, but it's going to take so long getting round. Down goes the Cosmic Divide. Maybe Neebs can get a pick, but no. It's not going to happen. It's only Bugsy left.
Only Bugsy left, and they pretty much have isolated where he can be coming through. We already see where Freysty predicting things going to get a headshot onto him, and now damage being done by Bugsy. The Viper's Pit is technically available and going to get invested. Unfortunately, Milk playing so close on the site. Not only is that a round win, up to map point for Illinois, that gets that Viper's Pit off of the map. Now only a resurrection available for Wisconsin, and they still have the Bladestorm and they still have the Empress available for the side of Illinois. So an ultimate advantage, weapons brought over, the economy nowhere near broken. That is going to be a loss bonus reset if they can manage to win this round cleanly. And now we're seeing an operator brought out, put in the hands of Bugsy, and going to be asked to do a lot on A. Unfortunately, that ultimate gone, and that is a huge loss for him.
Yeah, and well, we've seen it used less than optimally on this site. Made that little gelatinous cube that I can't remember who it was, but they won't want to talk about it anymore, whoever it was. It's going to be a slow push through A. Little disruption because no one took that high angle, and maybe kind of just... Okay, here comes the gunfight. Down goes Bugsy. Goxter going to be called upon here. See if we can get one. There it goes, but he's lit up and can't get any more than that. The wall goes up as well. And there is one hole in it, but it is obscured by a smoke. And Arthur might just have to wait for the rest of his team to get over here, but Lidist is being very careful and not allow any flanks through. Arthur going to play a key role here in enabling them to push through that wall safely. GJ just hiding on the other side of it. Tanked up, Protect, revealed. Arthur does manage to find Milk from GJ though on the other side of the wall, causing problems. He will manage to double swing him. Protect is just not able to do anything. Down goes Bugsy after the res, but just too many players to aim at for Lidis. Wisconsin, they took a little bit of a hit, but now with their backs against the wall, they will manage to keep swinging, keep on fighting, and they get themselves around.
Get themselves around, and a rifle going to be able to be bought over for Bugsy the Bean. So full rifle round for them, and that loss bonus getting reset going to be felt immediately for Illinois, as we're seeing a hero rifle in the at the moment in the hands of Poop and GJ. I would not be surprised to see that get sold. Yep, it does get sold immediately. Maybe Paddock bringing the Vandal and nothing else into this. Milk has his Bladestorm, so still very deadly. Not a push over round by any stretch of the imagination, but Goxter and Neebs with the Empress and with that Hunter's Fury available off of the rip, and that wall going to block Milk's push, but he is going to lurk there in mid and maintain a good deal of control. Very, very dangerous position for him to be in, but Arthwook taking him out from that boiler position, and now the attack split 2-2, full mid control taken by Wisconsin, and they're sitting pretty comfortably in this round.
We will hope to be sitting pretty after this, and he does manage to get one spots out Lidis as well. For someone who had to back out early in the round, he's played that pretty much perfectly. Lidis only has a Sheriff, and there is a little bit of pressure towards A, but it doesn't really matter if the spike isn't over there. Oof. Lidis, whatever it is in dodgeball, duck, dip, dive, dodge, and whatever it was.
You haven't nailed that once yet.
I have not. I have not. And you know why? Because I have never watched that film.
Oh, great movie.
But yeah, no, I do plan on it. But he will fall anyway, despite his multiple words starting with D that are about evading. And now it's going to be up to Protect to do this evasion. And, well, he will manage to get one onto Arthur. Beanboy's trying to just get out of dodge, and will do so. Hey, there's one of them. But Protect, I mean, he's made a little bit of ground, but this is still a very heavy task. 1v4.
We're most likely not going to see him win it, but he can do good damage to this Wisconsin economy should he be able to knock out a couple more of them, and that does seem like what Paddock wants to do. Getting pushed by Bugsy the Bean, now taken down 3. This round can't be won. Goxter, no point in pushing it. Neebs does have him pinned in, and honestly, having that rifle save, not necessarily the worst thing for Wisconsin, but they are able to eliminate Paddock, and just an LOL in the chat from him, doing some pretty good economic damage to them, making things uncomfortable. A full buy still going to be able to be bought for this squad, 7K on Beanboy, but none of the not nearly as comfortable. Bugsy the Bean bought down to 600, but another rifle round for Illinois. still map point, but things are starting to look incredibly doable for Wisconsin on this defense, and we're seeing aggression brought out straight away. Bugsy taking an advanced position and then going to get back off once he hears all those footsteps.
Yeah, they don't want to go on the spike after this and be embarrassed to see 13-2 or whatever it would be. So looking to make this respectable. Also, go over to the spike.gg if you want to see the path that everyone's to get here. But here comes a Hunter's Fury over from Neebs. Normally very good at the dry ultimate. Does manage to tag up one, but that's going to be all that he manages to get. Protect. Parkour! No, doesn't manage to get over. We'll go for the ropes on the other side of the Cosmic Divide. He snuck straight through there, but speaking about sneaking, Bugsy the Bean has got this heavy position. Rockstar firing through. It's not going to happen. Bugsy, he moved away, and that's going to pay for his life. Now, the only two defenders are left, not on the site. And Frasty can try and take him out before they even get across. Arthur might sneak by, and he will do. Beanboy's going to check mid, but does he check that? Doesn't matter. He's dead anyway. Well, Arthur's got a lot of work to do. Just floating over the top of the Classic, trying to act as a little bit of a, I don't know, distraction, but that's going to be Icebox and map 1/2 to Illinois. Okay, sure. We're tied up 1-1 now, and this is not how this should have gone. I'm going to see if I can contact the script writers and just check that's what it meant to say, because when I read it, that's not what that said.
No, I'm looking at the script that Captain Awesome gave me for the way that this finals was going to go. And yeah, no, I looked it over, and that's not what he said. These players have gone rogue, and the players from Illinois have gone insane. Wisconsin did their best to make it look a lot more respectable than that map felt, but with such a low margin for error after that 9-3 first half and losing that pistol round, just too much for them to climb. And now we get to see a slugfest on Ascent. But before that, we are going to go into a short break. We are going to get things set up with Raquel. We will be delivering you that mid-map entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, so you're not going to want to miss this. Stick around. We're going to head to a short break, and when we come back, we're going to see Raquel.
we live? Hello, guys. My name's Raquel. I'm a singer-songwriter here on Twitch as well as everywhere else. I'm gonna play you guys a few originals. Thank you so much for having me for your halftime show. This is a song about getting ghosted, and it's called Ghost. You used to call me for them good vibes when you were guaranteed return. But now I'm not worth any time. The bridge you lit is burned. The least you could have done was on me. When I asked you what I did was wrong, it hurts. You think I deserve it, but what's really going on? How can I be so foolish to think that you would stick around? But now you're just another ghost in this town. Oh, you're left without a sound. But now you're just another ghost in this town. You used to think it was endearing to share my deepest desires with my honesty. I'm fearing you can't put up that pride. Go on and gossip to all your friends. Shit talk is all you seem to do. Took too long to realize I'm not really into you. How can I be so foolish to think that you were ever down? But now you're just another ghost in this town. Oh, you're left without a sound. But now you're just another ghost in this town. Let me see some ghosts in chat. How can I be so foolish to think that you would stick around? But now you're just another ghost in this town. Oh, you're left without a sound. But now you're just another ghost in this town. How can I be so foolish to think that you would stick around? But now you're just another ghost in this town. We fell in love unexpectedly, sat on a settee with a glass of wine. And though you've always been next to me, I take for granted all these moments sometimes. It doesn't matter what day it is, our bodies and minds entwine. I'll give you everything I can give. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Oh, I don't need the stars to align. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Oh, you and I just need to unwind. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Forget fancy cups of cutlery. Let's have a picnic in the yard by the trees. I'll cook you everything that you need. With my sous vide, I'll be the chef of your dreams. Take a picture by the door, though there's still much of the world to explore. Waving high as our neighbors walk by. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Oh, I don't need the stars to align. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Oh, you and I just need to unwind. No matter what, you'll always have my time. I don't remember what day it is. Bodies and minds are entwined. Soak in the moment, not places. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Oh, I don't need the stars to align. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Oh, you and I just need to unwind. No matter what, you'll always have my time. No matter what, you'll always have my time. No matter what, you'll always have my time. Thank you guys so much for having me. My name's Raquel, or Raquel Lily. You guys can find me at twitch.tv/Raquel. And if you enjoyed all these songs, you could definitely find them really anywhere you listen to music. I've been playing originals, and this is my last one. This one's called Mary. Shout out to LV and Aquatik Sports for having me. Thank you guys so much. In her eyes, I see paradise. Sunny skies I saw when she is by my side. Caress her lips with my fingertips. Smile glowing so bright in the pale moonlight. An evergreen, such a timeless queen. Cherry light, she makes me feel alright. Stay with me all night. I ain't got no shame, ain't no other day. She's the one, her name is Mary. Mary, Mary, blowing up, 'cause she's got the stuff. She's loud and a bit obscene, if you know what I mean. Was she'll call your bluff. Ain't no one in town can touch that ground. Her Majesty makes me weak in the knees. Cherry light, she makes me feel alright. Stay with me all night. I ain't got no shame, ain't no other day. She's the one, her name is Mary. Her name is Mary. $10 says I'll bet your coffin. You can clear her by yourself. She'll make you feel like nothing. Then high like no one else. She makes you right. Stay with me all night. I ain't got no shame, ain't no other day. She's the one, her name is Mary. Elvie, 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 alright. Stay with me all night. I ain't got no shame, ain't no other day. She's the one, her name is Mary. Mary, Mary, Mary. Mary. Oh, it's 4:20. Jane. Thank you guys so much for having me. My name's Raquel. Have a good one. Have a good tournament, guys. Thank you, Aquatik Esports. And we're about to raid you guys, so back to y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from that incredible halftime performance by Raquel. I enjoyed that. I know you guys loved that. And honestly, thank you so much for coming out. That was incredible. Worked perfectly. If you guys want to check her out, go follow her at twitch.tv/Raquel. Check her out. I know I will after the stream. That was incredible. Back into the games here. Wisconsin versus Illinois. Illinois taking that first map after Wisconsin after an absolutely dominant round on defense. They had an absolutely incredible side there just to put Wisconsin in such an uncomfortable position moving forward into their attack rounds. I mean, there was not much that Wisconsin could do on defense from an almost flawless round from Illinois on defense. I mean, that was pretty picture perfect. Definitely didn't have that one written down in the script, I would have to say, but who knows? These guys are going off script. They know what they're doing. They're the professionals here. I'm just here to host you guys and have an incredible stream. We're going to throw it over to a quick ad from Corsair, and then we're going to get right back into the games.
Well, if a map could set the tone for a best of 5 series, that might be just it. Illinois have shown amazing ability on a map that me and you and the rest of Twitch chat and everyone not from Illinois had written them out off for. I was thinking we were going to see Purdue-esque numbers. I was thinking 13-6 at the most for Wisconsin.
That's an important clarification to make after the way that map went.
Yeah, I mean, if that is how Illinois want to come out swinging, I mean, we talked about it. Wisconsin's game plan coming in, just, ban bind, get that free map win, then come through onto Icebox, wipe the floor with them, and then you have 3 chances to try and seal the deal. Now their game plan has been torn up and they have to go for plan B.
It's a best of 3 now. I mean, that map advantage completely negated. I mean, and Illinois came out with a vengeance, and this is the Illinois that we're accustomed to seeing. This is Illinois get in your face. Doesn't matter if they have classics, doesn't matter if they have sheriffs, specters, vandals, operators. It does not matter. They are going to take the fight. They are going to bring it to you. And if it comes down to 50-50 aim duels, there's really no team in this conference that can out-aim Illinois. And this is why I highlighted Bugsy the Bean in the beginning. The way that he has been calling this entire tournament has been immaculate. They outcalled Indiana. They outcalled Rutgers. They outsmarted Rutgers, for goodness sake. They out freaking called Putfall, one of the best IGLs in this tournament. And now they're going up against a team where those calls become incredibly important. You have to know where Illinois is at all times. You have to know where they've taken. The question isn't if they've taken map control, the question is where have they taken it? And going on to a map like Ascent, this map control is so much more important than any other map in this game. And this really separates the boys from the men when it comes to IGLs. This map is so intricate. Map space is so open, and that's why we see a lot of success on this map from Illinois. It's so open, and a lot of teams aren't ready to have to use utility every step of the way to take that control. And now that there's been a long break, we've seen long breaks last night for Illinois. You know that they're going to be back and ready. We don't know if Wisconsin is going to be ready for this one, and there has to be some adjustments made going along, because this Illinois team isn't going to change their play style for you. And even with Wisconsin selecting to start on defense, that plays into the hands of Illinois. They choose to start attack on every map except split. This is a team that wants to keep it onto the gas pedal, and now I'm not so sure that Wisconsin is going to be able to handle it. Xlo, what has to be done on this defensive side for Wisconsin to not only stay in the map but also stay in the series?
Well, hopefully not whatever happened. I'm going to bring you back all the way back 16 weeks ago, all the way in week 1. That is when this happened in the regular season. Illinois swept them 2-0. We did see Ascent and Bind, but we don't talk about Bind. On Ascent, it was 13-5 in the hands of Illinois. And sure, both teams have changed and grown and changed their name a few times. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name names because I don't remember them.
There's literally no point in naming names. It's going to be different by the end of the series.
That's true. but yeah, what do they have to do on the defense to maybe pull back? I mean, this is a map that could go either way. We've had both teams have success and both teams be pretty hurt. One of them in Wisconsin by Illinois. But I think, if there was a map that can rectify this path that Illinois are going down for Wisconsin, this will have to be it. This is a team that they have unlimited stamina, so they can take this really long. We saw 1917 overtime versus Purdue. We bring it up every single show. But this is a team that is incredibly comfortable, and I think they just have to I think if they be themselves here, I think they're honestly fine. And and I'm sure it is because these guys don't seem to process emotion very well, other than just it's like a meme state, and that's like where it sits, and it's like there's 2 settings: unrated and competitive, and that's it. But it's like in the grand scheme of things, it's just a straight line of just idiocracy and memes. But if they're just themselves, I feel like that might honestly be enough. We've seen Illinois, and this is why I don't think Illinois will win the series overall. Is they don't have the full, it's not like they're not the full package, but they don't have the the stamina that Wisconsin have, and this will be a best of 5, obviously going all the way through. But also, this Illinois team can be a bit hit and miss sometimes. They're a team that has been upset. Sure, they have upset, but that was Rutgers, and they sort of, that could have gone either way, and that's really not relevant. Like, they've dropped maps to teams that are far worse than Wisconsin, and that's a bit mean if I bring up Purdue now, saying they're way worse than Wisconsin, but Wisconsin beat Purdue 2-0, and it took Illinois characteristically to 3 games to beat them. I think if they just keep going with what they've got on a map that they are obviously everyone's played it more, but I feel like they've had a bit more practice on, they're a bit more polished, because they did just run through teams on Icebox, and it harmed them a little bit because they play less rounds every single time in a competitive setting. But I feel like if they just be themselves and channel that energy that they've brought through the whole thing, I don't think Illinois is going to be able to go toe for toe for this long.
I don't know. See, I don't know about that one. I think Illinois does have the longevity. We watched them play 6 maps in a row yesterday, going 4-2 to find themselves in this grand final. They're going to be on attack for the remainder of the series, starting things off, and they are absolutely filthy on attack. A little bit of pistol round mathematics for you. On Ascent, Illinois over the course of this tournament 4-1. Their only loss coming against Purdue 13-5. So Wisconsin having beat Purdue on this map does bode well for them. Unfortunately, going up against Illinois, they've also 13-4'd Maryland on this. They have a 60% pistol round win rate, both on attack and on defense. 100% of their second round conversions on attack, 70% on defense. This is a map that we know Illinois is comfortable on. The question is going to be, what Wisconsin are we going to see? Are we going to see the Wisconsin that's surprised to get punched in the face? Are we going to see a more resilient Wisconsin that we've seen throughout this entire tournament? We are going to find out soon. We are going to go into a short ad. We are going to come back. We will be an agent select, and we will bring you the second or third, depending upon how you look at it, map of the series 1-1. This is to be up against championship point on the maps.
Well, it's time to right the train that's almost rolled off the tracks here for Wisconsin. A map that both of these teams are prolific on. And when you've got a map that both teams are comfortable on, then you really get to see what their true qualities are like, with both teams not at any sort of disadvantage. Wisconsin locking in very, very quickly, though. They know what they want to do, and it's Killjoy Astra for this one.
No surprise from them, no change in their composition from what we've seen them on Ascent. It is good to go to a map where we get to see Beanboy on Phoenix. He looks a lot more comfortable on that agent, really the agent that he's known for, one of the best Phoenixes that we've seen in this conference. Arthwook on the Killjoy, no surprise. Bugsy on Astra, no surprise. Neebs and Goxter on Sova and Raze, respectively. Going with a double duelist comp yet again, most likely going up against a different double duelist comp. Paddock and Frasty yet to lock in. Really, the only question is, are we going to see Paddock on Astra, or are we going to see him on Omen? Most likely, we're going to see Freysta on either the Reyna or onto the Raze, and I swear if they don't lock in, I'm going to lose my mind. Reyna going in, most likely for Frasty, and Paddock on the Omen. Okay. No surprises, no role changes, no weird little duelist switcheroonies. Milk going in for that Jet, where we've seen him be incredibly comfortable, and we are hopping into this map. Really, we know what to expect from both of these teams are playing on their best. No surprises like we saw from Purdue with them switching up 3 or 4 agent compositions across all of their maps across their, 5 games yesterday. We know what we're going to see. These teams are familiar with each other. They know exactly what they're going to see. The question really becomes, are they going to be ready?
Yeah, I'm interested. It's a dynamic that I don't know if we've ever talked about. Poop and GJ. On maps that others would go for Killjoy on, he's been relatively sticking to his guns in terms of sticking on the Cypher. And I wonder how much of an impact that's going to have, because he's proven very effective. It's why he's here in the grand final. But to see him resisting that change, I can't really think of a time we've seen him on Killjoy. I'm sure we have at some point, but it doesn't spring to mind.
No, he is literally he's a Cypher main. He's literally just Cypher. And I mean, I feel like he's proven himself to be that Cypher main. And look at this setup. They're going to be camping outside of B. They have 2 players resting behind ticket booth. Okay, now I thought they were just going to stay there for the whole round. And we do see Arthwook and Neebs set up over on the B site, and a push down mid and a fast B split. And that has to be something that they're expecting. There has to be awareness of that fast push potential.
Yeah, well, Milk manages to find Arthwook, but Tech also gets one of his own. That leaves the site wide open. They just don't mind. Oh, no, now he's aware of Bugsy, who isn't aware. And the lack of awareness that you so eloquently put that they need is just nowhere to be found. Team Boy, 360 death. It's not as impressive as maybe getting a kill, and Goxter shut out. Illinois, they've won another pistol. What's that? What's that in a row now? What's the streak?
We are up to 9 in a row. They are up to 9 in a row. At the very least, we don't remember the pistol round statistics from their lower bracket semi today.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
not today,
ridiculous.
yesterday. So it could be more, but 9 in a row on the pistol round, and that aggression has gone absolutely nowhere. A light buy into this round for Wisconsin, a sheriff in the hands of Bean Boy, Neebs and Bugsy also upgrading their pistols to a Frenzy and a Ghost respectively, but they're going up against a full buy into this round for Spectres and the Marshal in the hands of Frasty.
Yeah, and they'll make quick work of it and manage to get one. They just managed to find Arthwook as well elsewhere. That opens up things a little bit, but Goxter trying to be a bit aggressive. Takes all of that cat control, but Frasty's not even interested. Neebs cut out the equation straight away.
One
might be
enemy
cut out a little bit, but no, Frasty still with that Marshal, causing all sorts of problems. And as I said it yesterday, it's the best gun in the game, but you know, there are only a few people as worthy as me who can make his impact as big as that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Explo. I think Frasty makes a little bit more of an impact. I've played games with you.
Don't be ridiculous.
Don't get me wrong. You're very good at what you do, but Frasty might just be slightly better. And off to a 4-0 start on the Reyna. And we haven't really touched on the Reyna that much, just because the highlights were always on to Melt, always on to Poop, and always on to Paddock. But Frasty on Reyna, on it, feeling it today. Something to be very, very worried about is when Arena is feeling it, and there seems to be a lot less question marks with this Arena coming from Frasty, as opposed to the kind of question mark that we saw from WKey. But Rifle's now brought out for this Wisconsin side, and the push up mid just not going to work out. A Rifle given over. There goes your Sentinel. There goes all of that Killjoy utility on B. And Bugsy going to have to push aggressively, and he is going to be asked to do a lot.
Wow. See if we can stand up to the attack. That's fine, one, but it's a little bit of a rough position to be in. Does allow Bean Boy, though, to get that information and maybe start a duel of his own. He's got friends as well. Goxter looking to really hold back, and this is the spike, and they need that to be on target. Goxter manages to find the tech, which does take that spike down. But Milk will be able to walk to the dark cover and look to get that spike plant.
And Paddock just
Spike
being
planted.
caught as he teleported into that smoke, going to draw things back and get rid of that controller, but full site control taken, a main control with the Marshall from Freysty. Going to be tough on the retake and a double setup down low.
That's the... Oh, Marshall shut out and cut down. Crossfire versus Crossfire, and it's Milk versus Beanboy. Both on relatively high health. Milk a little bit worse off. He saw the head, but did he? No, he didn't. He saw the head of Milk, the bun of Jet, as he went over on that ledge, but I don't think he clocked it. And Milk, well, with a little bit of saving grace and a little bit fortunately, comes away with that round.
Just... because I saw it, you saw it, we saw the bun from Jet, and just the worst possible time to see Beanboy break out that utility, and it cost them the round, and it cost them their economy early on, and that is 3 attacking rounds. Just basically what Icebox is for the attack, we see Ascent play out for the defense, a very defensive sided map, and just with the 3 rounds and the bonus, the second round conversion, and then that conversion on the bonus round, a very tough position to find, a very tough position for Wisconsin to find them things in, and the rifles already singing. Arthwook falling down again, the second time that we've seen their Sentinel be the first player to die.
Neebs is, well, he's not having a great time here in Market, being just the target of everything. Bugsy only has 7 health. Beanboy manages to find Milk, but Patek and Lidis come up with 2 in response. It might be a third with Poop and GJ, it will be. And now it's only Neebs left for this Sheriff to make this happen, and it's just not going to be. And honestly, I feel like I was going into this with Wisconsin being the favorites, definitely. I just thought that Illinois might not wouldn't be able to stand up to them, but I think if they take this map, I might have to become a believer.
It's looking good so far. 5 kills from Milk, 5 kills from Freysty, 4 from Paddock and Lidis, and Poop and GJ really hasn't had the chance to see anyone, but that round just looked like a little bit of grid shot practice over on AIM Labs. The fire has not been taken out by that extended break. Again, huge fan to twitch.tv/Raquel for that halftime show. But I mean, in reality, you would expect maybe the rifles to cool down a little bit before in a row, and already in a huge deficit. Money teetering on the edge again, full rifle versus full rifle. So the best chance that we've seen in a while for Wisconsin, and you can tell that they want this bad. 2 players push all the way out of A, but the hit coming through Catwalk, just not ideal in any way, shape, or form. And the players running into mid, going to spot things out.
Oh, well, there's one, but Patek couldn't go. You didn't want Bugsy going and get that ult orb. That's not what you want to see. Patek does have the spike, but he's a little bit nervous to run now. Gogster is in this dark cover. Obviously, he doesn't quite know that. Might they like to go for a... No, they're going to go for this. Okay, they're going to go for it on A. Gogster going to go for the swing, trying to cause some problems. Lidis taking down extremely low and trying to kill him with a blast pack, but guessing the location wrong. Neebs had that spray to the wall, but just did not hold up on it long enough. We see some players move towards Hell as well. From GJ trying to make an impact. Neebs is just barely evading him. He finally will get his hunt, and well, afterwards finds the tech as well. Gogster gonna have to be the leading man. Dodges that, shocked up, tagged up by the camera though. He's gonna go full aggression, and that's gonna be his downfall. Poop and GJ comes away with 2 more after that one. They ran straight into his crosshair. It's 5 in a row for Illinois.
And that cat hit was executed perfectly, and just unfortunate timing on that push into Gelato. Usually that territory makes that retake so much easier, but the 2-man push from Paddock and from, I believe it was Milk into A main after that cat wrap was just perfectly called. Bugsy the Bean didn't expect it, went for the orb, going for that cosmic divide to get activated. Gogster and Arthwook one away from their ult, potentially worth investing into, because you can't let this attacking side go much worse than it already is. Milk, 3rd kill onto Arthwook to start things off. There goes your Killjoy utility, and there pretty much goes the B site.
Yeah, well, it's Gogster to try and hold this back. No one else from Wisconsin really wants to push straight through. Might be able to find Milk, but no, the shots are just off. Now that's the spike down. Neebs, though, does take one down with him.
Spike planted.
Oh, that's not a brilliant shot out from Neebs, but trying to redeem himself here. The rest of Wisconsin pushing forward, and out comes the Hunter's Fury from Lidis. See if he can find anything. Jay managed to clean up Bugsy. The tech pushing forward as well. It's only Neebs left. He will take one more before he falls. And it's 6-0, securing themselves that even attacker's half. Be very happy with that one going on to defense.
Even half at the very least, 6 rounds in a row to start this game, and no sign of them slowing down. They're winning these rounds and winning these rounds convincingly, and even with that loss bonus in full effect, money just alternating between, you know, they're alternating between broke, operating between broke, full buy, broke, full buy, broke, full buy. There's really no momentum gain. There's really not been a shot for Wisconsin in any of these rounds, and their defense just not looking good. We saw full on aggression from this Illinois squad on Ascent in every single map that they've ever played in. Wisconsin just not ready for it. And now the change of pace, a little bit more reserved of a tempo from Illinois, nothing really being taken. They're really just waiting for a mistake to be made. But this time Wisconsin calling it correctly, sitting back, a changeup of Arthwook going over to A. So they're moving where their Sentinel is, and Milk going to be right there to try and find Arthwook as well.
Let's see if we can get this. If Arthwook swings, see if he gives into that temptation. Up goes the star, though. And that's not a sight you want to see if you're an Illinois player. It's the Bugsy's on the prowl. He is actually over in Pizza. GJ just going to walk straight past him, not going to let it bother him. Milk's still chilling over as the rest of the team begin to move towards B. And again, really going to be Goxter who has to be the guardian of this and hold this back, but they're just going to wait to gather their numbers. Milk's dropped straight into A, actually. Has some of this movement, but not a lot. Cloud burst as well. But he can't really make much happen unless he wants to pop this. Goxter over with the showstopper over on B. It's dual-pronged attack and managed to get one B-boy as well. Needs with the Hunter's Fury as well. Managed to get another one, but it's 2v4. They still have the sight. They still have the spike that is going to go down. So Illinois might be able to pull this one back, but it's going to be pretty difficult.
Not going to be easy. No ultimates in their favor. The lockdown and cosmic divide still available. 2 ultimates invested into this round already. You absolutely have to secure this round.
Oh no, he's got it out by the recon bomb. DJ just has to rely on the spray and does manage to get one at least for his troubles. Patek in the meantime is over by triple. Looking to spray down. Neebs is stuck around a little bit too long. Goes to the B, manages to clean up for DJ, and it's over to Patek to try and clean this up. Out of bullets, has to go with the Sheriff, and that's all he needs. The big iron on his hip pulls up number 7 for Illinois, and they just cannot lose.
That was a 4v2 retake. That was 2 ultimates invested. The Hunter's Fury good for 1. The Hunter's Fury good for 1. The Showstopper good for 1. But Illinois good for the round, and everything that they're doing is working. They had a tag onto Poopum GJ as well. They knew exactly where he was, but he was ready. Gets the tag onto Bugsy the Bean, so Paddock knowing exactly where he is at all times. Tag down to 12 HP and still able to land that Sheriff body shot to win them the round. And now things are getting sketchy again. Spectre on Arthwook, shield light and already taken off of Bugsy the Bean, and Goxter going to push. Goxter going to be on light shield as well, and Bugsy taken down. Your controller's gone, your smokes are gone. They have lost either their controller or their sentinel in pretty much every round to start this game, and that cannot keep happening if they want a chance in this round.
Well, he'll look for a chance to burst onto the A site, and he'll get just that. Friendly Paranoia is not really what he wanted, but he'll be okay with it. They'll manage to run straight on, and it looks like they're going to try and push through Heaven, maybe stop them before they get on, but a little bit too little too late. Patek is just waiting, looking to be that first distraction for someone maybe to dual peek off, and there's 1, there's 2 from Neebs. Patek almost the next one on the menu. He just evades him.
Last player
on 22
standing.
health, has to be the last one. Goxter taken down in grass. Dinks Patek from long range, but the Spectre just not good enough. 8 in a row now for Illinois, and this is going very similar to Icebox, and that's not a good sign for Wisconsin.
No, I mean, this is actually going worse than Icebox went, and now the money broken, so they're staring straight in the face of being down 9-0 on a map that they've looked so promising on, and just everything working for Illinois, everything going in their favor. Only 1 real round that they've had a chance in, and even then, I mean, there's still that tail end of doubt. Pistols now and full on aggression going to be met with the paranoia of Paddock, and absolutely fantastic. However, Goxter going to be good for 1 Bugsy, and now finally an advantage. Well, 3v2.
I like this. I like this from Wisconsin. It's trademark aggression that they do so well. Just gotta get rid of GJ. And turn rounds like that on the flip of a coin. And Arthur might be the next target. Frasty causing problems with that Leah. Arthur is being overwhelmed, and now this round is actually in the hands of Illinois. Grab the spike, it's time to run, but GJ has to just try and sacrifice himself because Neebs was too fast around the corner. And it comes down to this 1v1. Frasty versus Neebs. Neebs does have this the Neebs jump, the generator jump, if he wants to use it, but he'd have to go to heaven, and that is a long way away. Dash straight forward, grabs himself a Phantom over the Vandal. Can't blame him in these close quarters engagements. And Frasty, hell is going to be his location of choice, and he's making a whole lot of noise. He doesn't really care that he doesn't know that he's coming, but, well, that was over as soon as it started. Frasty comes away with 3 Neebs. Just couldn't do enough, and it's 9 in a row. The best they can hope for is 9-3, and they have to do that in a row, and this is really their only chance to do it.
9 in a row. I mean, ultimates about even. You still have Milk with the Blade Storm, Frasty with that off of the plant in that final kill, going to have the Empress available, Paddock with the Into the Shadows. The Killjoy lockdown has not been used yet, and there's really never been a situation Arthwick has either died or it's been such a terrible situation. Only in that 4v2 could it have been used. Beanboy does have his ultimate. We're not going to see that broken out save for a retake. But just really whatever Illinois wants, Illinois has gotten, and you see them pushing towards mid, where they've exploited this Wisconsin defense pretty much from the get-go and going for a tried and true cat push.
Yeah, well, Arthwick, this is your calling. Turret was all spot out, but will be quickly dismantled, and was he tagged up? No, he wasn't. Barely avoids that one. Could have been a little bit rough, but to be fair, would have not really had too much effect. He's just forced to back away, and Grass gives them the site. Might be looking at a 5v5 retake here if Poop and GJ can get over to the site, but he has to check Winery, he has to be careful. See if Bugsy's lurking around with that knife. We haven't got that yet. And, well, I mean, in the script, it's written out 1 per map. Up goes the lockdown, though, for Wisconsin, so that makes things a little bit easier. Meanwhile, on the site, Milk leaves Poop and GJ, who managed to trade out on a piece, and Milk just forced to run off site. Not too bad, but they are detained anyway. And now it's just a mad dash maybe to go kill him. The Cosmic Divide going to make it a little bit more difficult. They're actually not going to go hunting. Bugsy is going to manage to take this close angle. Might pop up a Nebula. He does so, but Milk and Frasty combined. Gok had to stick it, but he just didn't get there early enough. GJ, Frasty, and Milk will happily dance around, do their little dancey dance as they get to double digits without interruption.
I don't know what I'm watching at this point.
No, neither do I.
They had the advantage. They had 4v3 on the retake. Neebs dying on Heaven before that lockdown goes into effect. No information being able to get gathered. His recon bolt would have been invaluable in locating both Frasty and Milk in that A main area. Would have seen them with the Jazz hands up. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work out, and that's a 10th round. That's almost a broken economy. Light shields on 3 of these players. A Spectre in the hands of Goxer, and things are not looking good, to say the least, from Wisconsin. Neeb's going to break out that blind ultimate and not find anyone. That is so unfortunate for Neebs. Really, that Hunter's Fury, the only thing that they had going for them in this round in the way of ultimates. So now it just has to come down to gunfights, and the Hunter's Fury available in the post plant for Littest as well, and things going towards A. Lightest defended of the sites, and it's looking good for Illinois to go up 11-0 to start this off.
Gonna be Beanboy that has to be critical here, but he actually backs away, and that dark cover isn't gonna make it any easier. Dash onto the site. Beanboy might want to go before this door comes up, goes down rather. Neebs fighting for that information, but Beanboy being a little bit hesitant with no utility to speak of. Now he's gonna be forced to act as that door comes down. He's not gonna go for it. Neebs managed to pick off Milk in the meantime. These shock darts ever so crucial to try and make some ground, try and make some push. That paranoia might just be huge, but they're gonna go up after it. Frasty manages to get one. Here comes the push through Grass from Beanboy. That's not a great curveball. Neebs and Arthur managed to get one each though. GJ trying to mow him down, but just doesn't have it right. Littest and Wine is going to be the last one left. Caught with his bow out. Does manage to take out Beanboy. But it's going to be finally a little bit delayed. 13-0. The dream is gone. But it will be one round for Wisconsin. And, well, I mean, they don't have a lot of time to act on it.
And they're still not going to be able to full buy into that. 2 players remaining alive. We're going to see Light Shield on Beanboy. No ultimates really to speak of. Goxter 1 away. Still the still has the Neural Theft of Pooping GJ. Milk has his Blade Storm available. So I mean, I just don't know what we're going to see. Bugsy might not even have shield going into this. That might be a UI bug. But I mean, this is still so broken. At the very least, 5 rifles
No, he
and
just doesn't
hopefully
have
a second.
shields.
Yep, no shield. So just a Vandal and nothing else, opting for the gun. Going to hope to land those headshots, maybe take one down with him. But it is so important for him to stay alive and keep those smokes available for use for Wisconsin.
You've been saying it. Just dying, the Sentinel or the Astra, dying every single round, and that's been making these retakes that they've had to do so much harder. Thankfully, they've stacked the right side. Maybe with this, well, it's not quite a numbers advantage, but might be able to overwhelm them. That is going to force Illinois out. Beanboy going to stop his push, though. Reroute towards A, and looks like going to go probably mid to A. It's going to be up to Bugsy to try and disrupt this. Oh no, through spawn.
No, they're going through spawn. They're going to see nothing. There's still a good spread from Wisconsin on this defense. A little bit of a fake. So there's three essentially immediately available for Wisconsin on this hold, and with 35 seconds left, no information plays, unfortunately. So Wisconsin has no idea where this attack is coming from in any way, shape, or form.
Be up to Goxton now to make this happen.
30 seconds left.
It's not the worst situation they've ever been in. Milk over in Hut, just managed to get that door shut. Now goes over to cut off defender's spawn, trying to find Arthruku. This is going to have to be this anchor and hold back the wave. Milk will go down with the help of Bugsy. GJ though, oh, it's not great from Arthruku. That spray just not on target. Neves caught out by Linus. Bugsy trying to trade that back and will do. 2v2. Both all relatively full health, other than Poop and GJ is on 70. And no heals from Beanboy. But that's only for himself. Pushing through with the curveball, not looking the right way. B-Boy does manage to find one. It's only up to Protect now in Boathouse. Right click classic. Down goes one. Has the opportunity to make this happen. The running back, he's just going to shoot him in the face. And they just find ways to slip and slide through these rounds. And it's 11-1 for Illinois. This is not how this should have gone.
This is the second 2vx clutch that we've seen from Paddock and Poopin GJ, and it's been Paddock each time with the multi-kill. Poopin good for his, but that is the 3rd kill from Paddock on this round in an 11-1 half. We've seen 9-3 in favor of Illinois, and I didn't think we could see a half. I didn't think we could see a half worse for Wisconsin than their attacking half over on Icebox, but we've seen an 11-1 attacking half on Ascent, for goodness sake. Pistol round, somewhat of a moot point, but if Wisconsin wants to make a comeback in this, they have to win this pistol round. There's no doubt about it. They can't have their backs up against the wall 12-1. But in reality, it's looking like we're going to head over to Haven with Illinois having a 2-1 lead.
Well, guess who's our pistol round experts? Apparently, I mean, they were. Can we just talk about that for a second? It doesn't make any sense. They were like really, really bad at pistol rounds, and now for some reason, as soon as they come in, ready to playoffs, as soon as they hit that lower bracket, suddenly they just decided that that's all they were gonna do in customs. Hey guys, we want to scrim, but we're only gonna do pistol rounds. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go. And it seems to have worked out for them. GJ gonna hold this with the frenzy. Does have that camera as well. Just gonna spot out anyone. They might push through. That trip is up as well. It was a demon in games gone by. Oh no, the objects are concussed. They've got him beautifully, Red. And Poopy GJ just has to try and get a kill to trade himself out. Can't do it. Milk will manage to avenge him though. Hot hands. That just isn't going to allow him. There's so many bodies to aim at. The dash isn't right for Milk either. But the majority of the players pushing towards grass. Is that door down? That turret causing Milk a whole lot of problems. The door is down, so I have to make a lot of noise to try and get through. And Milk might have to be the distraction to make this happen. Only Frasty, but Frasty's gone. Milk now the lone one in heaven. He's also gone. There's only 2 left. Burst down that door, but they are ready for it. You can see the curveball from the hands of Beanboy. There goes the flash, and they're pushing straight through. Beanboy manages to find one. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Protect really has to come up with some magic here. Arthur can't quite kill him. Pushing through, but he's got Beanboy red. Oh, what? He's going for the knife. He's going for the knife. Bugsy, you are 11-1 down. No, surely not. Okay, they've gone for the knife fight. And both died of the spike. This is a grand final, ladies and gentlemen. This is a grand final. And Wisconsin, I mean, only Bugsy goes for a knife, 11-1 down. I mean, they did have the round essentially in their hands with the spike being as laid on as it was. But still, like, Really?
I mean, you have to go for moral victories at some
true.
point, and maybe that knife changing things up. Unfortunately, that really is the time where we've seen the catapult of rounds that we saw in the first half. So maybe getting the knife, not necessarily the worst thing in the world for Wisconsin, but that is a pistol round victory. Unfortunately, as we talked about on Icebox, this is not a team to count out when sheriffs are bought, and it is 5 sheriffs, no shield whatsoever. They are going just for straight headshots and economic damage in this round.
19 health is Poop and GJ, with no heals to speak of, so gonna play this long range maybe. Takes position up in heaven, but who else to replace him with the same exact skin actually? Is Milk. Milk took a second round at Goxter, but he too is taken out of 22 health, forced to run away with the tail between his legs. Slightly better off than Poop and GJ, but it's still not great, only about 40 health between them. They are the only ones really over here on B. Poop and GJ going to be very careful about when he peeks, and almost finds Bean Boy, but the shot wasn't quite on, and now that the rest of Illinois are here, Spike's still not down. Bugsy, okay, they are going to commit to it. They're not going to rotate out. Where's the flank going to come? It's going to come directly into heaven. Goxter has to try and flush these guys out. Spraying through the floor. They're all very low. Neebs comes away with 2, but Tech manages to shut him up finally. Milk through the floor. Will manage to take out Bugsy. And Milk with 6 health now.
Here.
Try and make this happen. Spraying through the floor might invite a return serve. And Bean Boy still playing this long angle. Can just take out Milk straight away, but he's going to back out, keep himself alive, ready for should this go terribly wrong. Arthurwook, though, does manage to find him. It's only Frasty left, who will die to the hands of the long-range Bean Boy. And now, well, it's Icebox all over again, but just worse. They've started to get some rounds back, but far too late, essentially.
Too little, too late might be the story of Wisconsin in this series right now. It feels like the only time they're getting rounds is when Illinois is on 11, and just 11-3. We saw this score line before. Not a great way to start things out, and Goxter making beautiful art on those boxes. At the very least, that is 2 in a row. That is going to be a bonus round. They're going to bring rifles into this. Neebs, are we having connection issues at this point? Yeah, Neebs has not bought into this.
I think, no, they, oh no, the timer is paused. Okay, good.
Yeah, the timer is 100% paused.
Let me go back up chat. They have called a tac pause, I think.
Yeah, so, no, okay. So there is the tac for the there is the tac for the half, and I guess
I understand it. I understand why.
You know, I mean, you may as well use them if you got them.
Yeah, that's true.
Just miss that in the chat. Use them if you got them. And this round, incredibly important. We are going to see Neebs buy into a rifle and light shield. So full commitment into this round. 2 Bulldogs, three of the traditional rifles going up against the 5 rifles and light shield on the 5 rifles and light shield of Illinois. So there is a decent chance, especially with those Bulldogs, better than you would see most times off the back of that 5 sheriff buy. And now we have Neebs already with the ultimate going to look to do a lot of damage. And there goes the Sentinel dying early. That is best case scenario, but this off angle from Milk could prove deadly.
Top of generator, though. This could be big, but the flash is completely open for it and cannot look away. Meanwhile, in grass, Bugsy will fall pretty quickly. Door does go down in their face, though, and Goxter got a kill in the last pack. Because why wouldn't he? But this only has this algo to work with. And it looks like Frasty's called the mission off. He's going to abort mission. Go and save that rifle. This might just look for exit should it come his way, but I mean, there's no real reason to exit any other way, and I just look for a few picks. But this round handed over to Wisconsin, but issue is really that, I mean, it's the same on Icebox. They can do this. They can hand over rounds because they've got so many lives, more than a cat. Actually, less than a cat. But shut up. I didn't say that.
It's okay.
No
judgment.
No, I tried.
No judgment. Litis getting the kill on a Goxter also huge into this round, as the money's still not necessarily in a great position and only saving. Oh no, Neebs and Bean Boy die to the spike. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad for them. Rifle's going to be bought up, but again, they're going to be facing a couple of rifles in the hands of Illinois as well. All 5 of them going down to spike makes this so sketchy, because I mean, they lose this round, they're up against Map Point, and there's 0 credits left on Neebs buying into a light shield this round. Arthwook down to 200, 14, 13, and 1,000 on Beanboy, Goxer, and Bugsy, respectively. And that's not going to be enough for a complete buy. They have no loss bonus built up. So they need to win this round, and they need to win it absolutely cleanly. Milk. Okay, 1 away from the Bladestorm, and they're going to take that alt orb. So that is big for them. Beanboy instead goes for it. Milk. Some decent damage jumping out of that smoke. Not by any stretch of the imagination is this round going to be easy for Wisconsin.
No, definitely not. Oh. See if they can pull anything out the bag here. Pushing towards tiles, looking to go through mid. GJ is going to send that camera up. Meanwhile, over in main, things are... It's escalating slightly. Beanboy and Milk trading blows, but nothing really going to come of it. Frasty might be able to take advantage of a bit of blindsidedness should they push through, but granted they're not going to, and it's all the way towards B.
And a slower pace from this Wisconsin tack. Really, you can tell how tactically that they're taking this, and they are going to make a push towards B, and a fast flank coming through on mid. Wisconsin with no information on it could get uncomfortable. Frasty ticked down to 84, so at the very least they are going to get onto that site. Great damage, unfortunately no kills, and
left.
now everyone on flank, and Milk going to jump in and take down Goxer with
that's a rifle.
That is BM.
That's a rifle as well. Now, Milk, if anyone's going to do this, if this is destined to happen, it's going to be him with the Clutch King as well, Poopa GJ, but they need to get him something better. Oh, that's an alarm bot, manages to dodge out of the way. Just quick enough. Also has the Bladestorm, could hand over that rifle and then hit that ultimate. He's managed to find Neeb. GJ though, grabbed himself a Phantom. Down goes Milk, and it's all up to Poopa GJ. Down goes one. Bugsy very low, but he doesn't really need to peek him. Beanboy can start to pile on the pressure. Does he have a... No, he doesn't have any curveball, but he does have that run it back. Up goes the Cyber Cage. Just a push straight through. Beanboy taken out, but there's not a lot of time. And I don't think he has enough time. Bugsy's happy to just sit there and die. Poopa GJ gonna have to accept his fate. Wow, 4 in a row for Wisconsin, but I mean, they can just keep handing these rounds over, get that loss bonus, keep adding up, and then just take their chances when they get there.
I mean, they can keep letting the loss bonus build up, and off the back of that loss bonus, there's no concern for Poop and GJ. Only 2 rifles saved, or excuse me, only 2 rifles saved over into that round. They were planning on full buying into this round anyway, and with everyone going down, economically, things are still sketchy. Now, everyone bought below or at 700 credits on Wisconsin. Neebs and Arthwook sent down to Spectres and full shield. Things just keep getting chipped away, even though Illinois' defense isn't winning these rounds, the impact is felt round after round after round, and it is just a knife's edge for them. Litis going to be tested on B, however, and a great find from both Beanboy and Goxer. A 5v3 to start things off. Arthwook making that Spectre, Sing getting the kill onto Frasty. Flank for Melgan. Now it comes down to economic damage again, but Beanboy ready for the flank. It all falls down to Poop and GJ. You've seen him be willing to die to the spike for the sake of getting exit frags, but now things significantly less comfortable, and we might just see him back out.
Wow. Run, rabbit, run. Don't let the farmer get his gun. Because Wisconsin are coming for him. And that's a flawless win. I mean, that is as good as they could really hope for. They've managed to pull it back to 6, but they've got to do it basically all again at this point if they want to have any chance of winning this game.
Well, I mean, they're doing what they need to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Just win rounds, forehead. And they've finally broken the economy of Illinois again. So we are going to see them on pistol. We're finally seeing a little bit of comfort. So at the very least, we have seen Wisconsin secure full buys into the next couple of rounds, no matter what happens, even if they do lose this round. So we'll see a full rifle round from Wisconsin. But the Bladestorm popping out from Milk, the judge on Paddock might have something to say about this round for Illinois, and just making an early difference. Unfortunately, the Bladestorm used again, but Milk getting the information taken out. Absolutely massive 10 seconds into this round.
He's looking for that rifle. Closing down the distance as well. The right click available for him. Beanboy might not want to push it, but Arthwook does. And that'll be a kill onto Milk. Now, 3v4, make that 3v3 as Frasty picks up Bugsy the Bean. Lear can go across, and Arthwook could have some trouble. Get out just fine. Lockdown available, so if they get this spike down, B might be the location. It would work great, but they've got to get through Frasty, who does only have a frenzy. Wasn't able to pick up a gun in time.
You should run.
It really comes down to him. No one else in the general area. That lockdown's going to cover the entire site. There's no Hunter's Fury to take that out either. So they're just going to have to, I don't know, just hope that maybe Lidis can come up with something big, because Fressy just took a little bit too much time. He's going to get detained before he even fully swings that corner. And Lidis, well, he was bought time by Poop and GJ, but maybe just not enough. And with this Sheriff, it's going to be real difficult. But there goes one. There's a third of the equation solved. And look how low Goxter is. That he is literally 1 health. No shock dart, sadly, to make this work. And Goxter might just sacrifice himself. Lidis needs to find this kill, and he will do so. Now it's a 1v1. It's doable. Has the Hunter's Fury to flush out any tag that he might get from this, but Beanboy just going to push him straight through. And that's going to be 7 for Wisconsin. 7 for Beanboy as well. And, well, they are doing what they did on Icebox before, which is getting, you know, getting rounds on the board late on. But they just were shut out last time, and I can't really see a time. We got to this point, and this is where Illinois started to pull back.
Here's the test for them. The operator is on the field. Frasty buying into that. Full rifles going up against it. And Arthwick on a pistol round. Basically going up against a pistol round, forced to use that lockdown. So only the Cosmic Divide and the Showstopper available for Wisconsin. 3 ultimates available in the hands. The Hunter's Fury, the Neural Theft, and the Empress available for Illinois, and Paddock getting things started early, and Bugsy going down. Not good at Bugsy and Beanboy taken out. A 4v3. There goes one of your ultimates and also your controller. This is bad news bears for Wisconsin. Not looking great early, and that's a tag.
Bad news bears indeed. What was it? Good news Gecko, we decided would be the opposite of that, and that's currently what it is for Illinois. That's a throwback to like right at the start of playoffs, but oh god, here comes the Showstopper from Neebs. Could do a bit of damage, but everyone's so spread apart that he really will only get one firing through, but just can't find Frasty. We'll keep that operator alive. Got to push straight through. Oh, just can't do it. He's trying to bully J now, Neebs. See if he can make anything happen here, but oh no, tagged up. Arthur, duck. Neebs just managed to find from GJ. We'll get the site. We'll get the spike. Luke, you've got to have your gun out if you want to compete here. Well, we'll get number 3. It's only a matter of time, really, for Neebs. Even can pull this one together, but the double peak and a 4 from Milk gives Illinois. They took their time. They bided their time. But it's map point. And if they win this next one, we'll give them championship map point. Again. No, not, well, what is the right term? Because they don't win the whole thing if they win this, but it will put them on the map that would let them win this whole thing. That's the scientific term, I promise.
I feel like I feel like there's a word for it. I just don't know it either, but I'm glad you're the one that stumbled over it first. It makes me look a little bit better. Big appreciation on that one. Thanks for making me look good.
For this conference, honestly.
But we are seeing that operator brought back out, full rifles brought back into the round, and now 5 chances for Illinois to put this thing away, and big fight for a main, and Milk going down early. That is good. Neebs going to break out that Hunter's Fury and get a tag onto Paddock. We don't see him finish that off, but 3 players still hanging out towards a heavy investment into this round.
Still a good start though, and Beanboy pushing straight through. The Cosmic Divide gonna block off at least one. He might just push through, try and get Frasty, but Tech and Lidis managed to get 1 each though, and this is really not very good for Wisconsin now. Every advantage that they've got has been pulled back in some way, trying to spray Frasty through, but that's all the guns that are focused on that 1 point. Might be forced to back away. Everyone is over here. A rotation is possible. That's what they're gonna call. They're making a lot of noise leaving. It looks like Neebs is just wanting to make sure that he knows who's sticking around, can keep an eye. Maybe that might be the key for a bait, because they're not actually going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere quite yet, but that full rotation and full spread and mid information being obtained by Lidis right now. You have the camera as well as Poop and GJ over on B, and still 2 players waiting here, and Paddock in a massive position. Frasty with the operator going to be incredibly challenging, and now that they can make that call, they're seeing so much utility invested in Lidis rotating already. Frasty needs to hit this early shot.
Yeah, door is down. Protect trying to make quick work of it, and that could be number 1 for Frasty. It will be. Let's jump to the other side. The dismiss just comes up in time, and oh no. It's only Beanboy left. Got nowhere near enough time, and Lidis pushing through with a classic. Prepare for trouble and make it double. Illinois find 2 on the road, 2 maps, and now with how this next one goes, could give them the championship. Wisconsin, they look out of character, and that's not to say that Illinois aren't playing well. They're playing fantastically, but something's just not right.
I mean, this is the Illinois. I said it during this map. I said it during Icebox. This is the Illinois that we saw during the regular season. One of the most dominant teams, the most frag heavy of teams, top to bottom. This team can rifle. This team can use the operator. This team can win with sheriffs on their hips, and so much composure. So much composure. Oh my goodness. So much composure, so much gun skill, just absolutely out of this world performance from Wisconsin from Illinois. Milk picking up exactly where he left off, 311 on the combat. Paddock 21 and 12 in 2 massive clutches along Poop and GJ. Neebs doing his best to keep his team in this game, but there really just isn't that vintage Bean Boy. There's not that vintage Gokster. Arthwook and Bugsy the Bean. When Wisconsin was having trouble during the regular season, those were the 2 players that you saw at the bottom of the scoreboard, not making the impact that we saw them make yesterday or throughout the rest of this tournament. And something has to be figured out from them if they want to take things over to Split. Haven, one of Wisconsin's better maps, human map for Illinois, but at the same time, it's really hard to call any of these maps human maps. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what map we play on when the strategy that Illinois is running is, hey, go kill.
Yeah, I mean, even like on a map where, like, I might just rip up this book now and throw it out because it seems like, you know, even on a map where historically 91.87 attacking win percentage doesn't matter. It does not matter. Like, this is essentially completely new. It could be completely 2 blank teams. And that's almost what it feels like, because it feels like one team in Illinois is just back to the absolute destruction that made them drop, what, only 4 or 6? It was
they dropped
6 games,
they
4 of which were
games.
forfeits in the regular season.
2
and
maps.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they look like what that scoreline entails. And, well, who would have thought that now we'd be sitting here going, now it's time for Wisconsin to reverse sweep Illinois. That's how they're going to have to come back. It's not quite because they had the map advantage at the start, but essentially it is in this, you know, pseudo best of 3 that we got going. But Haven, it's going to have to be, it's going to be it, or they're going to hand over the championship to Illinois.
We are looking at championship map for Illinois. When we come back, we're going to go into a short break, a little shorter than the last one. Unfortunately, no more Raquel. Again, cannot emphasize enough. Huge thank you from them. From her, going into that halftime show. Absolutely fantastic. I wish I could hear more, but you can at twitch.tv/Raquel. But when we come back, we will hop into a little bit more analysis from Captain Awesome. We are going to hop into Agent Select, and we will get going on the 4th map of the series. Thank you guys so much. Stick around. It is still going on. Wisconsin, fantastic on this map. There is still a shot at a 5-map series.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back from that short break. We are going to get the next map underway just a second here, but let's go over that last one. Absolutely incredible from Illinois on their attack side. Ascent is 90% defense, and their attack was just too flawless. I mean, getting pretty much 11 rounds on their attack side. That was ridiculous. There's no other team in the conference that I think could have pulled that off, especially against Wisconsin. I think that was absolutely incredible. Milk being the number one force again on Jet. I said his name 100 times, and I'll probably say it again 100 times by the end of this conference. Milk making space, being able to take control of areas and get a lot of information on where the Wisconsin team's going to be. Ascent's one of those maps where you just have to have map control and you have the knowledge of where the enemy team could be pushing, where they're going to be. And I think Milk did an absolutely incredible job at making that space for his team on attack and getting the information on defense. Absolutely incredible. And right there to back him up was Paddock, 21 and 12 on that game, and absolutely incredible. Did a fantastic job backing up Milk whenever he needed. They were the dynamic duo on the ace site for most of that, and it was pretty incredible for their defensive rounds there as well. For the Wisconsin side, Neebs. I mean, he's been at the top. You know, he's the best Sova in this conference by far. 15-17, couldn't quite push all the way through there for his team, but did an absolutely incredible job. And I think the other person that we need to thank in that for Wisconsin bringing him back up is Goxter. Goxter finally activated, turned it on a little bit. We didn't see too much of him during that Icebox game, but now he's ready to play. He came out swinging in this Ascent game, and I think we're going to tune in and see him a little bit more in this next matchup, which is going to be on Haven. I mean, I'm incredibly excited. Will Illinois take it all with this Haven match, or can Wisconsin fight back? I think this is going to be an incredible matchup, and I'm hoping for a game 5 here. I hope Wisconsin kind of gives a little bit of a pushback here. We've known Wisconsin to do really good on Haven, and I think it's going to be an incredible round. And I'm just really excited here to see what we have going on. But right now, I'm going to send it over to another Corsair ad, and we're going to get right back in this game.
All right, this is it. This is Illinois, the first team to be on championship point. And it's going to have to be one they can close out. I don't think we've seen Illinois put 3 straight maps together, but what a time to switch that around than to be right now. We're going on to Haven, and it's a map that can be a bit hit and miss, I think, for Illinois, but hopefully, for their own sake, they can pull this one through.
So in this tournament, Illinois is 1-4 on this map. Their one lone win coming when they needed it most, a 13-8 win against Rutgers yesterday. And over the course of the regular season, not exactly the strongest map from Illinois, But at the same time, this is not the Illinois that we've seen throughout this tournament. This is a brand new Illinois roster, everyone firing on all cylinders. I mean, we talked about it in the pre-show, but every single player on this team has the potential to frag, and none with more potential and more delivery so far in this series than Milk, the Jet extraordinaire, putting himself in so many aggressive, uncomfortable positions and just really making things incredibly hard for Wisconsin on both attack and on defense. They're just not ready for that unbridled aggression, but there can't be any surprises from Wisconsin as we go into this. I mean, there can't be anything surprising for Wisconsin. They know that Illinois is going to keep their foot on the gas pedal. We didn't see that adjustment in map 2 today. We need to see it in this third map because there's nothing to fall back on. You had that one map advantage that gets negated. You're basically in a best of 3. Okay, Wisconsin hasn't lost a best of 3 in this entire conference. They've barely lost 0-2 in the regular season when it was 1-1. So this Wisconsin team just hasn't had to fight through this type of adversity. They've really never had their backs up against the wall like this. Not only they've had a 1-1 series where their back was up against the wall, but they've never been down in a series so far. And I need to see something from Wisconsin. I need to see it very early on. It can't be these comebacks at the end with no margin for error. They can't start to play once Illinois hits 11. When that scoreline reads 0-0, I need something from Wisconsin Explo. Yeah,
it's about going on the word go rather than delaying your start, because honestly, if we were seeing these Wisconsins, I guess, that we, on the second half of every map that we were seeing, and if they started on each map every single time like that, Icebox could have been theirs, Ascent could have been theirs. It would have been way more up in the air. And we are heading into our third map, ladies and gentlemen. We have Agent Select just cooking up for you. But yeah, I mean, they just have to start quickly. I think maybe push through aggressively might be a good start. Try and put something on the board straight away that gets you all fired up, because they can't afford to slip up again.
There's no margin for error. We are at 10 pistol rounds in a row, and something needs to change. Wisconsin is one of the more aggressive teams too, and that's the thing. We haven't seen them play their style. They've been on the back heel from the get-go off of every game. They haven't won a pistol yet, and this is a team that is actually pretty good on these pistol rounds. And looking at these agent compositions, really no surprise. Beanboy sticking with Phoenix. Gokster, one of the better Jets, especially on this map. If he's able to get the operator in his hands early on defense, we've seen him all over the map. So, I mean, that's the window in for them on this game. Bugsy going with the Astra. Arthwook on Cypher. No surprise to see Pooping on the other side of with the Cypher as well. Paddock sticking with the Omen. Freisty probably going to wait till the last 5 seconds. If not down to the last second, going to go with the Reyna, and he has been feeling himself. The Reyna operator, a new meta being formed, if you will. Neebs, really the lone bright spot in the fragging department so far in this game, going to have to bring it out and bring it out early. There needs to be something. I can't figure out who it is. Maybe it's Gokster on the Jet. There has to be one of those X Factor plays, one of those X Factor moments, similar to what we saw from Pupfall last night when things were looking bad on Ascent. He had his 4K, and that basically started a chain reaction, allowing them to dominate that map. And he was the one that was keeping them close. And we haven't had an X Factor kind of moment. We've had a Beanboy 3K, but the score's already so low. It has to be in one of these early rounds. It has to be soon in the beginning of the game. Otherwise, this ball could get rolling downhill. And starting out on attack on Haven, another more attacker-friendly map, there is just so much potential for the steamroll to get going, and Wisconsin cannot afford to let that happen.
No, they really can't. And, well, it all comes down to this. It's come to my attention. We haven't actually read off what the stakes really are, other than you win. So I'm going to give a quick rundown of all of our prizing real quick, if you wouldn't mind, Comey. So, third place, which has already been secured by Purdue, 300 dueleries, plus some nice Corsair, courtesy of Corsair. Our prize pool is split 3K and 3K in money and money and gear. So they'll get themselves some nice Corsair mice, that little bit of cash, and some mouse pads. Second place, which could be Wisconsin.
I hate to interrupt you, my guy, but the spike is already down and 2 kills for Illinois, and you're not even halfway through explaining the pricing. I mean, 4 kills already and 20 HP on Needs. He was the first one tagged out early. They are going to try and go for that knife, and he's going to get 3. I mean, feels good. Feels good to get those 3, but the round already over. Illinois setting the tone once again. 11 pistols in a row.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to say this. I think the easiest way to say this is the winner of this doubles their money, right? The loser of this will take home 900 plus a headset and some headset stands, and the winner of this will take that. Well, if Illinois wins this, I guess, will take home 1,800 plus some really solid keyboards and some pretty fire hoodies, my guy, as well. So Illinois looking to close this out, and I mean, the pistol again falling in their hands. Pretty, you know, standard stuff at this point. Wouldn't have said that 3 weeks ago, but hey ho, here we are. They look like they're going to get that spike down again, and they are solving half of the round's problems very, very quickly. They're just out-aggressing the aggressors, and it's just a complete style. This fighting fire with fire style they're going with is just completely working. But Bugsy the Bean almost takes us in the second shot dart to the face. Lidis might look to just shoot him with lead in the face. Take him out, Needs pushing through with the Sheriff though. There's 3 frags straight in response. That's 5 health. Bigs up, but that's all it's going to be. Coming away with 4 alive in the second round. Illinois pulling ahead again.
So quick to get that spike down. It's down in the first 15 to 20 seconds of the round. Spectre, 3 Spectres saved, as well as the Phantom that Frasty bought into this, and Bank already looking fantastic for Illinois off the back of those 2-round wins. Very cleanly as well off of that bonus round. So we are going to see a full bonus brought into this. Rifles and Bugsy already hopping into the Odin. So at the very least, we're going to get a classic Bugsy spray. Most likely not going to find anything, as the majority of this push already towards C.
Yeah, they're just gonna head straight through. Arthwook gonna have to hold this one back, and he just isn't in a position to do so. They get onto the site so fast. Especially the spike's not very close. Lidis having to run up. See long. That Aldrum didn't spot Milk, and that's gonna be put out of commission relatively quickly. Milk willingly walks back into a gravity well. That's not really the way you want to play around those, but it's a 5v5 retake going in. Bugsy has got himself an Odin in round 3. He really is banging on this to make a huge impact from GJ sitting around spawn. But in go Wisconsin for something. Bugsy does come up with 1, so does Neebs, and well, B-Boy sharing a bit of the pie as well. Lidis, the last one left on site, quickly cleaned up by Neebs. From GJ with on his spectre. Managed to take out Bugsy, but tagged up by that trap wire. Location revealed, and they just swing him one at a time from GJ. Oh, he gets 3, but the defuse is done, and he cleans up the rest of the round. Will get a rifle to move in through, but sadly too little too late. It's still a great play though.
The impact of that cannot be understated from Poopin. Even though they don't get the round win, even on a bonus round, you're not necessarily playing for that round. You're playing for economic damage, and it does not get more damaging than that. We're seeing 2 Spectres on Goxter and Arthwook. A decision to be made for Bugsy. He does have enough money for Light Shield and a rifle, and we are going to see him buy into the Vandal. But the money's so comfortable. Poopin GJ still above 5k, full rifles, full shield for this attack, and we've already seen how willing they are to go through the tripwire getting eliminated, and Arthwook going to be asked to do a lot with not very much in the terms of weaponry or support from his team at this point.
Yeah, well, in comes the Hunter's Fury. That's on Neebs' side. Arthwook manages to find Patek, actually made a little bit of ground. Fratty there to respond straight away, but Bugsy comes up with 2 in response. Now, well, this is a little bit dangerous for Illinois. Milk. Maybe look for Bugsy, who's on pretty low health. The rest of Wisconsin are just fine. The spike never went down. And there's the difference. He's trying to definitely fake them out with this spike. Come on, let's go! Faking that just a few times, and oh, Milk didn't expect that anymore, but he's got Lidis to help him out, and thankfully he had his back. Will have to give his life for it. 20 health now, and Goxter just had more of it. We'll come away with that one. It's tied up 2 apiece, and thankfully, if you're a Wisconsin fan, they've started before the 10th round.
They have. They are on the board. They are tied up. And I think this is the first time that we've seen Wisconsin tied Wisconsin tied after rounds have started being played. 2 defensive rounds in a row. A little bit expensive. Bean Boy and Neebs both using their ultimates into it. And you can see how important that round was. Money still not great for them, but worse in the hands of Illinois. 2 rifles being brought in. 2 sheriffs in the hands of Frasty and Paddock. And Milk going to buy into a sheriff as well. Unfortunately, 2 orbs away from his ultimate. A very dangerous round for both of these squads in terms of finances.
What is the game plan here for Illinois? They do have this slow push up towards me. Bugsy is waiting. It's all the cape of the Astra, but Bugsy will take him out. Just couldn't get round to the head. He'll be punished for it. Looking like they might want to head through a garage now. Tagged up with the camera, though. Arthur might look to punish. There's the shock dart to drive him out close, but still looks like B is the plan. Arthur with a big swing here could mess this all up, but he doesn't choose to do so. Frasty comes out, and now the site is theirs. Arthur still hasn't gone for that, so it's starting to get the spike down, and B's such a volatile site. Hang on a minute, Lidis hanging in that dark cover, a little bit of advanced position. Frasty comes out with 1 after popping the Empress. Arthur with the Spectre coming up with 2. Deal with this aggression straight head on with this Sheriff, and does so. 13 health, gotta back away. Pretty low. Bean Boy though has full. Teleport across. Didn't teleport up though. Can grab that Vandal that's on his left if he wants to. The defuse comes through though from Goxter. He was happy to just sit there and wait. Protect might just play ring around the roses to save this rifle. And he will do so. So Wisconsin, they take the lead for what feels like, and probably is the first time this series. That is, yeah, that sounds about right.
It doesn't feel like it. It just, I mean, that's why it feels like it. It is the first time that we've seen them string a set of rounds together without necessarily without Illinois being on 11. And that was a great call by Bugsy to be watching B early on low money rounds. We do see a tendency for the finish to be B for Illinois, but unfortunately, they're still able to buy into this round. If you're a Wisconsin fan, things not looking pretty, and they're going back to a tried and true C push where they've had so much success early on in this game.
A little bit of damage, and Milk having to finish up the job. Teams will have to trade that one out though. Going into 4v4. Boom GJ making some ground, might be able to do some damage should they choose Garage to be the way they mount their attack. It's looking like that might just be the case. Bugsy's already dropped down. Goxter as well, floating through. He might not be needed. There he is, Frasty. Came up with Bugsy. He only had to do 1. Tech comes through. Has to take out Neebs, and Bean Boy, last one left. 2 does have full utility. Tech teleporting onto the spike. And he just got a little bit confused. Bean Boy didn't know what was up, but Tech shakes his head in dismissal. In Illinois, they tie it straight back up.
Yeah, this Illinois team's not going anywhere. No cascade of rounds. And off the back of so many players being lost, even on the rounds that they won, all it took was a round win for the economy to be broken for Wisconsin. Now sitting with a rifle in the hands of Bean Boy being really the only threat. Bugsy opting into a Stinger. Neebs was toying with the idea. Yep, is going to get a Sheriff actually dropped over to him. Bean Boy no longer buying that rifle, going to buy into a Spectre. So no rifles on the board and a dangerous round. Now there's going to be a lot of noise made towards A, but the real heart of this push going towards C, and that is stacked for Wisconsin.
They can still lose a lot of bodies here. Bean Boy trying to spray through Lidis. Barely does any damage. Milk pushing through. Could find 1. Arthur down, but Tech also happy to help. And there goes C site completely. Neebs might be able to sneak around and get a kill on the Lidis, but it's really, the value of it is pretty limited. Bean Boy still has to deal with Frasty, and he just can't do it. Now it's all up to Neebs. Has a Sheriff, full utility and a Dream. He's forced to reveal where he is, shot down that trap wire, and just doesn't even get a single tag. Flawless win for Illinois. And after a brief stint away, they've managed to come back, and they're back to winning ways.
5 alive. 5 alive at the end of that round. Absolutely clinical going up against the eco. But now we get to see what I was talking about in that pre-show. Money has been saved, just enough for Goxter to be able to buy into an operator. And this is a huge round for Wisconsin. We've seen how much trouble they've had on a broken economy. They saved up enough money in that round to buy whatever they wanted. We're seeing Goxter on the op, and we're seeing Jet take it to C right off of the rip.
He's pushing through. That recon bolt will spot out Protect, but it's pretty limited info. Especially with that being an Omen.
Take flight.
Could just be lurking around for all he knows, but this push is mounting towards B. He's using a lot of utility to get a lot of information. He didn't even tag up Milk with that owl drone. Bugsy has pushed through more advanced, but it looks like going through Garage is the plan here. We'll have to take care of this Sapphire, and they will do so. There is 3 people over here, so might just back out. A looking like the plan.
Yeah, that hearing 3 guns and an operator that close to the site, we are going to see that rotation, and BeamBoy tagged up to 50 before the site really even gets taken, and now we are looking at a 5v5 retake going into this. Cosmic Divide available for this, as well as the Neural Theft if they're able to get a frag, but the Hunter's Fury is available for the post plant, and we do see Lidis bouncing his way down that A long area, so he is just going to be playing for that ultimate protected in his back, and the flank going to be coming around from Milk.
Oh no. I don't know if BeamBoy saw Frasty. They are just gonna go in, so the flank is limited. Bugsy and Neebs combined for 1 each. That Cosmic Divide is the only thing keeping Protect alive right now. Curveball straight through, crosses straight over, ships in the night. Protect managed to find 1, Milk to respond with 2, could kill the Diffuser as well. They will do so, and Illinois, they get close, but they kept 3 alive, and they get number 5. And they keep Wisconsin at 3.
They keep Wisconsin at 3 and having 2 on the flank on that round. I mean, I've been basically deriding the brain on Illinois, saying they're mostly just for frags, but to have 2 go around on flank, absolutely brilliant. Once the kill fell onto Fracey, Wisconsin completely disregarded that flank, and Milk went all the way from garden through window around to really put an end to that round. And with the Cosmic Divide up, Paddock playing around it perfectly, and another eco round, and Goxer never really got a chance to use that operator, and Poop and GJ taking down Goxer again early, but BeamBoy going to bring one back on a long. That's nice, but it doesn't really feel like enough, especially with Milk hitting the shots that he's hitting today.
He only has a frenzy to make this happen. And that's a long-range engagement. Lidis wins that every single day of the week. Milk also happy to come up with more. Poop and GJ is just gonna get his name on the score sheet. It was a decent start for Wisconsin, but now they are falling back into the ways that we've seen them in this series, and they just cannot afford to do it. This is Illinois on championship map point, but it's the map that we give them the championship. We still haven't found out the definition. I didn't Google it during the break.
You've just not been listening to me. It's championship map.
Championship map. I feel like there should be a point in there. There should be a point in there.
No, not yet. Not yet, but they're headed. They're headed that direction. 2 more gun rounds available for Wisconsin in this half, this being one of them. And that Hunter Fury going to find 2 and a kill onto Paddock, as well as another tag on that round in a fantastic start, met by aggression from Milk as he's going to make his way onto that side. But Neebs good for his 2nd of the round. And there still is hope in this half. A 3v2 on the retake. That Hunter's Fury still available for Lidis.
Spike
yeah,
planted.
but Lidis is planting the spike, and he's got to get out. GJ. Trap wire for anyone who might be a would-be dropper down heaven. It's gonna chill in hell for the rest of this. Meanwhile, Lidis just firing through those shock darts, free combo as well. Gonna go over, dissuade any push, but it might just not dissuade them at all. Like very open, and now it's all up to Poop and GJ. 70 health in a dream, but when 3 drop and send straight into your face, not much you can do about that. Wisconsin gonna come up with 4, and they are still trying to stay in this. It's a better effort than we've seen, but still not quite there.
4 to 6 on defense. The possibility of a 6-6 still very much alive and well, but we're going to see buys the rest of the way for Illinois. Still everyone above 4,000 credits with only 2 rounds left to go. Not going to get any easier. Goxer again on light shield and that operator. So we should be seeing buys the rest of the way for Wisconsin as well. Operator taken again to C long. They're really concerned about that C push, but another stack towards A and only BeamBoy there to meet it.
Yeah, not even Arthrook, sorry, to fall back on. And with that massive push, he's going to walk away very happily that he's kept himself in check. Well, it's a free spike plant, essentially. Not going to dash straight into heaven. Did they hear that? Does have the blade, so I'm sure he'd want to activate it if he's feeling confident enough, and why wouldn't he? But spike will go down. Arthrook going to use that camera ball. He's stuck in it. Swings round, and he just can't get the kill because Goxter was there to back him up. Tech has to teleport where he's going with this. Oh no. Okay, I thought he might not cancel it in time, but he does in the end. BeamBoy pushing through. Run it back and curveball, but he's taken out straight away. Not a lot of use out of that. Cyphers each get 1 kill. And now Oh, Wisconsin just being cut down. Arthur last one left, and Poop and GJ comes away with 4. And they didn't even get onto the site until the last minute. That's how effective he is.
Last round before
Every single time Wisconsin try and do something, Illinois just always have a response.
Illinois is just ready to play. I mean, there's no other way around it. Illinois here, and Illinois is just playing out of their minds, and that's the second time we've seen a late flank through mid on an A plant pay off in dividends. The first time we saw it, it was Milk. Now Poop and GJ's turn to come around, and we did see the operator trained, or excuse me, we did see Neebs trained on that, but when the retake just kind of has to come down, it just has to come down, and now going back to C. And Milk already on site, but Goxter finally able to get an opening pick, and 5v3 we could be seeing 7-5.
Spike down long as well. Frasty pushed a little bit further ahead. He has no intention of going back and being the one to get that. They're just going to have to rely on Poop and GJ, but up goes the neural theft. Spots him out, means that push just cannot happen. Lidis with this owl drone just going to have to clear out and make sure no funny business is going on. You can see the haircut of Astra. A lot of haircut spotting going on in this series. There it is. Bugsy jumping over the top does tag up Poop and GJ just a little bit. But here comes Goxter with the Blade Storm. Uses up 3, down to 2. Uses up top to try and find something, but here comes the Hunter's Fury now from Lidis, trying to flush out Bugsy. He just can't do it. He tags him, takes him down pretty low, but still, he's still alive with his own, and that is just enough to cause problems. They have got the spike though. They are going to get out, and it looks like they might go towards A.
Just the operator waiting there on the flank and taken out by Goxter. 30 seconds in this round. Neural theft available for Illinois. Not much hope going into this, but 3 players have rotated all the way to A. Operator trained onto site. Really, this is all going to come down to Goxter. He has the Blade Storm available, and he is going to see the head and take it off. A massive round from Goxter. Such low health on Poop and GJ. The rest of the team coming towards them, but Goxter good for such low HP on Poopin. That operator unfortunately not going to be able to save into that pistol round. But finally, we've seen a good half from a good first half from this Wisconsin side. Now they are on to attack 4 ghosts and a frenzy bot, and they're not messing with that shield. They want to take this fight early. They want to take a lot of long range fights, and we see them drifting in a more default style. 3 players leaning towards B on the defense, 1 in garage, and 2 players on A. Illinois seems to be more than willing to give up B for the retake on this, and the fight looking like it's going to be a fake towards A, spike being dropped in mid, so just a little bit of a default. We're going to see a little bit slower of a pace and try to get a pick in any way, shape, or form possible from this Wisconsin side. Now 4 players towards C.
Green Boy's happy to bide his time, and Goxter very willing to play a distraction. Arthur and Neebs playing towards window. Instead of any sort of trickery or tomfoolery, they're just going to have to see and sit and see if anyone would push down C long, because it's something that Illinois have done a few times. They've set up a crossfire instead, so how long does it take for an Illinois player to say let's go? It looks like the spike actually pushing towards A. Poop and GJ though, he has all the time in the world. He can just sit here on this camera, watch that short position. And Goxter might be the one that spotted should he head down here. And he will be, but it's only Poop and GJ to defend him. Defend this site. To be fair, he's in heaven, so his lifespan is made considerably longer should he play this properly. Spike will go down. He's looking for those wire picks so he can shoot through any smokes that would come through. But he doesn't manage to find any, and now the site's clear of essentially all the utility other than... But yeah, even his camera's gone. It's just a matter of time before he does go down. Milk's joined him. Now they can afford to be a little bit more risky, but Milk only has a frenzy, so he can't play these long angles. Meanwhile,
Bugsy on the wrap.
Yeah, the rest of Illinois is pushed through. Bugsy on the flank. They have to go now. Green Boy manages to get 1. Lidis and Milk combined for 3. Oh, here's Bugsy on the flank. Comes away with 2 of his own. That frenzy coming in. And it's very hard to spray with that frenzy, actually. 13 bullets, and to get multi-kill is pretty difficult. But he does it nonetheless. And wait. Oh, it's happened.
That's the first. Wait a minute.
Illinois have lost a pistol round, everybody!
11 in a row for Illinois, now 11-1 over the course of their last 12, and massive from Bugsy watching the flank. kind of taking a page out of that Illinois playbook for that A finish, the 5v5 retake, just the guessing wrong for Illinois, stacking the C site. And now we see the mid push being organized by Illinois in a straight up C push. No one even messing with Garage. Bugsy going to be waiting for this in spawn, setting up those Astra Stars. And we should see another 5v5 post play. And this is going to be incredibly dangerous. Only a frenzy. So at the very least, nothing being given over.
We've seen this before. And I think he got 2 off this. And this is a round that we saw earlier in playoffs with 2 people pushing down long, and here comes Bugsy. Oh, he's just walking with them. There's not 6 players on a Valorant team, my friends, and they are all mowed down. And what a confidence bringer that must be for Bugsy and their entire side of Wisconsin as they managed to pull us up to half, and they just didn't check spawn.
They're even in a full bonus round going in. Our rifle saved over by Bugsy. So it's just so uncomfortable for Illinois now. They're bought down to light shield and rifles. Poop and GJ, the only player with full shield. And if they lose this round, their money's broken, and we're going to see a second half lead from Wisconsin. So things starting to turn around. I need Wisconsin to win this. I need a map 5. This conference and both of these teams deserve nothing more than the best option in this grand final.
Oswald actually being the aggressor, puts up their camera during all the chaos and all the smokes. Actually hasn't been seen, so he's going to get some early information, sees 2 either side, but I think they really already knew that, and they're going to amount to a push, but Poop and GJ can shut this down now in similar fashion to what Bugsy just did to them. No utility, he's put it all down. Oh, sees Bean Boy, gonna go for it. There's a spike down. Gonna kill onto Bugsy as well. And now the round has flipped on its head. It's gonna have to be Neebs to pull this one out.
I have the spike.
Grab it and move away. But that is still a lot of men down. Brought it to a 3v4 for them. Chilling, waiting outside window. He has been a menace over here in spawn, but tagged up, gonna have to run away. The smokes can't help you, and he's just run directly into the path of Poop and GJ, and he's being swarmed by the Sharks. Scott's in the back, might be able to get one with the Spectre, and he does so. 2v3 retakes, Spike manages to go down. And Illinois, this is incredibly important how you play this. Don't want to give him that second half lead. Milk's gonna lead charge, with Lidis maybe heading towards that short position. Neebs hasn't moved off-site. There's that recon bot shot out. There's the information. The tech is taken down by Gokster. Milk just can't handle it. And now Lidist, he's the one they have to rely on, but he's done this sort of stuff before. But he's got no time. Does manage to find Neebs. The spike just can't find the headshot onto Gokster. Well, it's not a great start for them. 3 in a row Wisconsin get, and they take a second half lead for the first time.
In retrieving the spike, so huge from Neebs, the wraparound, and Gokster got site control very early on. All of the players from Illinois opting to push through mid and wrap around and really try to control that. And the fight taking so long allowed Gokster to wrap through short, allowed Neebs to get on site, setting up that post plant, and huge shots with the Spectre from Gokster. Good for 3 on that round, and now we have a lead and a broken economy. Sheriff's incredibly deadly, but I can feel the momentum swinging towards Wisconsin, and it is going to be incredibly tough. And that first Spectre going to be found out by, or excuse me, that first Sheriff going to be found out from Paddock. He's going to go back for more, just not enough. Neebs good for 1 on the site pick. Milk going to take out 2 technically and get the 3rd, the run it back taken out as well in a 3v3 in this area. Sheriff still singing.
Yeah. He's singing a very, very deadly song. Beanboy swinging around with his Phantom, trying to make something happen. Fast gets one with his Frenzy. And Beanboy has to clean out the bugs now. Ironically, Bugsy the Bean helps him cleaning out the bugs and the infestation. And well, it's a 2-round lead for the first time. But I think if we keep doing this bit, it's going to get a bit old. So that would be the last we hear of that. But I feel like if we do see Wisconsin take this map, I don't know why, but I've got a feeling that it can only be through an overtime. I feel like Illinois have come this far. I don't think, and they've shown so much improvement in this series specifically, I don't think they're going to let off just yet.
I'm not getting ahead of myself. I need to see this round. Goxter still with 7K going to opt into the Blade Storm on this round, and Bean Boy going for fast mid control. The operator in the hands of Fracy, and they are going fast towards the B push. Goxter going to get one with the knives. That's Milk taken out. Neebs not really going to tag anyone up. In that fast B play, all the rotations are drawn. Poop and GJ with a lot to do in that corner and getting 2 off the rip. 3 for him. Going to break out that neural theft to find Neebs. It's so close getting that 4th round, but things not looking good for Wisconsin. That round incredibly important. Just take as many guns out of the hands. That is the mission of Neebs at this point. The spike down in garage, and now things have slowed down for Illinois. They're just going to set up a crossfire there. Fracy with the operator should put an end to this round and lands the shot onto Neebs. Illinois is not out of this one just yet. They want this win. 3 ultimates still available for them. I can't be thinking about a 3rd map right now, Expo. This map this is must-see TV. This is much to see Twitch.tv because Fracy has the operator, guns in the hands of everyone. We are most likely going to see Milk on the Blade Storm for the sake of economy. And now things getting a little sketchy for the economy of Wisconsin. They should be able to buy into the next one. But if this round goes 9-9, we could be looking at 10-9 and things are getting very, very uncomfortable.
Well, here comes Milk with a very fast push. Pops that Blade Storm as well. Oh, on that ultimate. Oh, sitting duck, and there's a duck that's standing, but it doesn't matter anyway. That's a 2K for Milk right off the bat. That has slowed everything. Spike carrier is killed, but he's given relatively free access to go and get that back. Fraxty otherwise occupied. And well, they've lost 2 members, still relatively free to do whatever they want, but there's no real easy side. A's got 2 left on it, but that looks like where they want to be.
Out of charges.
And now the push going towards A, and 2 players still over here. The Recon Bolt getting destroyed. Paddock in a boosted position, and Goxter going to get sprayed in that smoke a little bit too telegraphed, and the crossfire is just too good. Paddock just backing off, giving some time, and he's read that perfectly. 3-on-1, the ultimate being expended. It's just not enough. Arthur, maybe a chance, but the rotations are too clean. They know exactly where that is going to be. And even if Fracy gives up the operator, there's a player to pick it up. That is Poop and GJ. Money fully in the control of Illinois now. And we're seeing Wisconsin commit fully to this round. 9-9. The Run It Back available, the Cosmic Divide available, the Hunter's Fury available for Illinois, as well as the Empress and Paddock on the Into the Shadows from Omen. Massive, massive, massive round. Light Shield on Neebs right now. Light Shield on Bugsy the Beam.
Tech could be instrumental. Gonna back out instead. Look at the early pressure that Milk is taking over there in B. Shut it down if they don't get on site fast enough. But here comes Bean Boy to accomplish that very mission. Pushing forward, doesn't actually need to be there. Arthur manages to take care of the tech relatively quickly. That Run It Back, other than an entry tool, doesn't really get too much use. So they're just going to join Frasty here over in heaven. See if Frasty can pick up anyone with that operator. Blind shot lined up, but now that it's clear, happy to jump down, jump straight into the open arms though of Goxter, and there's a double spray from Poop and GJ. And now this is very much winnable. Like Gravity Well gonna pull him off the defuse. And that's really not very fortunate, but Lydius actually came up with 2. And while Poop and GJ was being obliterated by all of that Astro utility, that is happy to clean it up. 8 health to his name afterwards, and well, you are the Oracle, I suppose. 10-9 is where we are. And now Illinois could be in a position to maybe even get themselves to, well, yeah, championship point, as it would be.
And another full commitment coming out. All rifles, all light shield. Lydius gonna buy into this round. It's a foregone conclusion with 4,100 to his name. Fracy with the operator saved, but a great retake and a double kill from Poop and GJ. And we haven't touched on this. Poop and GJ, 22 kills, top of the lobby. He has only died 9 times, and we are 19 rounds into this game. Absolutely massive from him, and now Paddock in an off angle, and this could really destroy the push. However, Neebs going to hear that TP come through, and early damage onto Lydius. Wisconsin pushing towards this A site, but the spike going over towards C.
Oh, Bean Boy playing it dangerous, but as you said, Spike heading towards C. Bean Boy still looking to make a distraction, and he's held 3 players here for the time being. Spike will manage to go down, and now they'll look for an opportunity to leave. He'll might try and get this, but no, Beanboy's still sticking around. He's going to be a menace. Doesn't choose to go for the flank, though. So it's a little bit of a let-off here for Illinois. He's playing very, very close, and Aquatik doing the opposite. Playing in this long area. They might look to swarm through garage once they know that someone's pushed through, but the master of the multi-kill, GJ, just can't line up the shots. Frasty, though, comes away with one with the operator. Now he's trying to make his life hell, but he sends him straight to hell. And now it's only a 1v3. Picks up that Vandal. Has to see if he can make this work, but he's got his knife out. Finally pulls out that Vandal, and he's to line up the Beanboy. He'll do so.
Still in
But
sight.
there's not a lot of time left on that spike. Everyone else has left the spike site, and too late to the party. Wisconsin ties up at 10.
Wisconsin needed that round, but a great round from Frasty as well. He's going to retain the operator, so the money going to be just fine. He's going to be able to basically buy anyone whatever they want going into this.
Goes there.
Are we going to see Paddock instead? Okay. Frasty is going to buy over the operator, going to be kept into this round, and even if all 5 players die, he's going to be able to rebuy it completely, and we are going to see our first tack pause from Illinois since the second round of Icebox after the second round of Icebox. And now there's something to talk about. Now there's something to go over in that Illinois camp, but just the economic damage being done repeatedly by Frasty. He's good for 3 kills on that round, and that means we're not seeing Neebs to his fullest potential. We're seeing him on a Bulldog. We're not seeing Goxter to his fullest potential, or Beanboy, both opting into light shields to go along with their rifles. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's so much damage being done. Even if you're not winning rounds, you're still in complete economic control of this game. So, I mean, I just can't shake the feeling that Illinois is going to take this, especially after this tack pause. They're going to figure something out. We have an R coming from Paddock. Illinois is ready to get this going, waiting on the R from Wisconsin, but this round absolutely massive. Economies on the line for both of these squads. Both teams in double digits. This is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have not a lot of room to work with in terms of losing this round. And to be fair, even if Illinois do lose this round and maybe they go for any sort of lesser buy, you know how good they are at it. So
Right there.
it doesn't really matter. Playing on a defensive side as well on an eco is slightly easier unless it is Wisconsin running straight at you, I suppose. But holding shorter angles is a little bit easier. I'm still waiting on that. There it is, coming through in the chat for Wisconsin. So here we are, 10 seconds tick down to a very, very important round. Tied up at 10. And number 11, ever so crucial. Oh, might go for, this looks like a very aggressive outside A. Teleport through to the other side of box, but no one from Wisconsin is interested at all. They actually just really want Jay's head. He's going to back out of garage there after that star goes down, but now it's a Nebula. He knows. Frasty and PUBG get one apiece. And he is over here on C-Long. Frasty just teasing them. Might swing round Bugsy. Doesn't actually get round fast enough. And he's still causing problems with this operator. Takes down Arthur. There's 2 for him. Backs out into the welcome arms of PUBG, who will bring him not completely alive, but still get that kill. And Bugsy, last one left, tagged up. And this is really, unless we see Bugsy the Bean do Icebox-esque heroics and actually win the round from it, this could be an 11th here for Illinois.
I need
But
obscuring
he's done this
vision.
before. Don't can him out just yet.
You are divided.
Out goes the Cosmic Divide, but those shock darts are still very painful, and he's taken down to 30. He's just sprinting straight through. Needs to find the kill onto Lidis, but can't do it. Illinois, 1 away from championship point here. Well, let's take a look at the money. So it's a little bit widespread in terms of some have more than others, but not a lot for Wisconsin here.
Wisconsin can't invest into this round. There's no reason for them to invest in this round. Their best hope, maybe forcing up upgraded pistols, maybe a Spectre, and trying to get Goxter and Orb at some point on this map. And they don't seem to be setting up for it. You need this Blade Storm to have any hope going into this round. Now money firmly in the control of Illinois, and they seem so incredibly comfortable, and we're already seeing so much pressure by Paddock up A, and Frasty watching it now with an op. Beanboy already taken down to low HP.
Yeah, this is what Illinois do. Aggressive defense. They don't know the meaning of the word, but in go Wisconsin. Do manage to get that. Well, they're trying to get that spike down here on B. He does manage to get it down, but he dies straight away. B-Boy has to be that guard, and they're already on the spike. And Poopin GJ has a free one here. He might just stick it all the way through. Lidis does manage to take him out. He had to get off of Poopin GJ. It is on half though, so that makes it considerably easier. Of course, the cyber cage, but through the smoke, Arthur managed to take him out. Milk pushing through, but Tech also trying to close this out now. Give themselves match point, and they will do so. And now things get dicey. Illinois have a chance now to end it all and steal the crown for themselves. It's championship point for them. And if you are Wisconsin, what is the game plan?
I don't know. I don't know. They do have the ultimate advantage. There is the Blade Storm available. There is the Neural Theft, and most importantly, Bean Boy has his run it back so crucial and taking control. Free early picks, and it's looking like the call is to go back to see only one player remotely close from there. They seem to be somewhat comfortable taking that area, and now just Arthwook going to throw the cyber cage down and rotate to be there with his team, but so much control over A. They have to be smelling the C push, and now the ultimate broken out, and C site going to be theirs. They are going to be able to get the plant down, and Poop and DJ going to be playing that smoke.
Yeah, well, look at this aggression from B-Boy, trying to clear as many angles as he can.
Planted.
Poop and GJ with these wild sprays. Gox is happy to sit close. Right-click Merchant might be the game plan here for him. But if there's anything, well, I don't think we've seen a Jet right-click really go the way of our Jets either side so far. There's only been a few, the success rate not too high. Lidis managed to open the account though with one onto Lidis. Tech's got some early ground. So everyone sat in long other than Goxter, who takes out from GJ. There's one right-click. Now there's more to deal with, and that's a miss. But he isn't dead just yet. He might just have to go for the wild spray. But Tech just out of the range of the paranoia. And this is getting real bad. 2v2. How low they are, but they do manage to take out the one on the spike. And with nothing to deal with Arthur, there's no time. I don't think there's time. No, he has to run away. They have to give them this round. Wisconsin afforded a very, very expensive lifeline here. And with one chance to send this to OT.
One chance to send this to OT and just enough money to almost completely full buy into this. Okay, never mind. It's actually a lot sketchier than it looks. Light shields on Arthwook and Bean Boy. Obviously, you're going to see the full investment.
If only you could buy shields.
Yeah, right. If only you could buy shields over, that would be 2 shields coming out of the bank account of Neebs. But that round's so expensive for Wisconsin, not only monetarily with 4 of the 5 players dying, but also the ultimates expended into this. And now we have the ult from Milk. Now we have the Hunter's Fury to be used for the post plant, or to even stop the plant in the hands of Lidis. An uphill battle to say the least. And Goxter planted, waiting for a little bit of aggression. Frasty watching that angle so closely.
It all comes down to this. Map or championship? Do you wish the show to go on? Looks like Goxter. Ooh. We haven't seen many blind fires from Frasty, and he's not going to start now. Looks he's chilling in his astral form. GJ could swing out, but doesn't want to take the risk, and it looks like B. That's an insanely sketchy way to do this, but we do manage to get that one for one straight away. Pushing through, couldn't quite get that spike down. Needs has to drop it. Gonna go and try and be aggressive onto Lidis, and it comes up money. Frasty on the other side. Might be able to get her. Oh no, just can't find Bean Boy. Milk's gone. Staring in the face of OT. Frasty has to pull this 3v1 out the bag. It starts with Bean Boy, but Neebs rushes him out with the Hunter's Fury. Ladies and gentlemen, Wisconsin aren't done just yet, and we have overtime.
There's Neebs. There is that moment that I was talking about. I said it needed to happen early, but it happens in the last possible second. The composure of Neebs as a Sova to push through that nebula, going to get 2 kills, get himself the ultimate, and land the final kill with it. The spike gets planted by Bean Boy, but I mean, to push through there, to go to C connector, to hunt down Lidis. Yeah. Massive brain, and to still be able to manage to stay alive. He got the frag onto Milk in garage as well, and we have ourselves OT on attack. We do see Illinois more comfortable on that half from them. That's where they got 7. Defense little bit sketchier, and we are seeing no operators. Bugsy going to buy into that Odin first round, and we are seeing a full A push where only Bean Boy is there.
Yeah, and they're just gonna dump utility and flush him out. That recon ball actually not quite good. But yeah, that means he's going to stick around now that he hasn't been fully spotted. Paranoia goes wide. And, well, we'll have some company soon enough. Milk dashing straight forward, and he's been straight overwhelmed. Neebs with this Haldrum pushing forward. We'll see that. And maybe Arthur can get the spike carrier down. He will do so.
Spike down.
No one yet pushing directly onto the site. Frasty manages to take out Neebs in heaven, but there's still one more left. No, he's gone. Arthur's gone. Now Bugsy with this Odin could go huge. Could get a massive spray. But it's going to take a lot of risk. And now as things calm down, it's going to get right back up. And 1v1, and they just didn't check that corner. It's only Neebs now. You just can't do it as 4 peek him at the same time. Illinois, you know they have problems closing out maps, but they do not want that to come up here.
Match point.
And with the game advantage, match point, championship point, they look to get this done before it gets started.
Another championship point. Illinois has had 2 so far, this being their 3rd, and it comes down to their defense just guessing the wrong side. There was so much success in that first half on C. The stack call, you can't argue with it. That's the right play. Unfortunately, Bean Boy goes down early. Arthur gets sprayed through the wall, and things go from bad to worse. That arrow does miss just a little bit, so that is going to allow Goxer to get a little bit more of an advanced position than he would initially be allowed. But a lot more patience from this Illinois side, and now Wisconsin feeling the pressure. Very, very little aggression and control trying to be taken from them, and just mid control sitting there and waiting. A boosted position over from Milk over on those boxes to the left side of entrance, waiting for that push on to B, and just tap, 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 trying to get information. No one wanting to be that first death in such a high pressure situation.
No, especially Illinois side, because they do not want to give Wisconsin another chance. They can't keep giving teams chances. That's what they've been doing all playoffs. And now it's time to be a little bit more clean with it. J, ooh, baits out that curveball, pushing through. And Frasty managed to take out one. That slows the push considerably. But Bugsy, a little bit too far forward, overextended, might have to come up with some frags. And the team comes to join him. Goxter manages to come up with one of his own as well. Bugsy eventually does go down. Milk finds 2.
Spike down. C.
Oh no, Arthur's the only one left. This could be it. He has to clean it up, but he can't.
Defenders win.
And they had the chance to
One
go
enemy
through
remaining.
and be the 1 seed in the regular season, but they saved it for now. Ladies and gentlemen, your big time Season 1 2021 champions, Illinois.
You were right about overtime. You were wrong on the map that it happened. Wisconsin claws their way back in just to go down in the first round of overtime. Milk, we saw him essentially the last 8 or 9 maps of this tournament be the Milk that we needed to see. In the pre-show from yesterday's game, I said if Illinois is going to win this, they need that performance from Milk, and he delivers. The name change, making him the MVP of this tournament. I don't know what else it could be. 22 kills, 277 on the ACS, Frasty 270, Poopin GJ 262. Just too much to overcome for Wisconsin. So close to bringing it to that final map. I thought they were going to be able to claw it back and send us to a second overtime, but not a chance. Not a chance. Just too much Paddock finishing things off as it should be. A huge before we wax poetic about Illinois, we have to give a huge thank you to Wisconsin. Fantastic performance from them for the regular season. Fantastic performance through the upper bracket, and just unfortunately falling just short, but still wonderful job from them. But how about Illinois? Backs up against the wall in the lower bracket, the deck stacked against them, coming out on top, the first champion of the Big Time Conference. A doff of my cap to them.
There are many esports in which there is a blessing of the lower bracket. Rocket League has it, League of Legends has it. I guess we're seeing here that the Big Time Conference has it as well, where the lower bracket, they drop down early, make that run, whether it's G2 in the LEC or it's Illinois here in the Big Time Conference. The lower bracket has some magic to it, and whatever wizards behind it has waved their wand here today. And I don't think I'm quite computing that's it. It's done. Like,
it doesn't feel right.
Illinois have won the whole thing. They've taken 1,800 plus keyboards and hoodies home. To be fair, Wisconsin haven't gone home empty-handed either. They're going to take home half that, so they'll take home 900 plus some headsets and some headset stands as well. So they are not without any sort of compensation. But what a journey it's been, Corey. I thought about this bit and I was thinking, what do you even say after this bit? And I don't know. We've done what, 16 weeks of this?
16
I'm left without
weeks.
purpose.
I know. I really don't know what to do with my hands at this point. This has been such a big part of my life. Explo, a huge thank you to you. Captain Awesome, who we're going to see, my co-commissioner on this event, a huge thank you to him. Throughout the entirety of the 16 weeks, we have had the best producer in the business, LV. Thank you so much for your journey along this one. Thank you to the teams. It would not have been possible. And Explo, I know you want to do it. I know you love this. Who is the last group that we have to thank here?
Well, they're a little indie company by the name of CORSAIR, and they make some cool stuff. They make up some of the money and some of the gear that these teams will be taking home, and they've made this whole thing possible.
All of the money and all of the gear.
Yeah.
Thank you, CORSAIR.
A huge thank you to you, CORSAIR, for making this possible, bringing us on this journey, and what a story it was. I mean, from start to finish, it was drama from day one in the playoffs, and that's everyone we have to. Well, everyone in chat as well who's come along. I know there's been some people who have been here basically every week throughout playoffs, and some people who are here every week through league play. So thank you all so much for making this possible as well. But yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Wolverine, we're done.
We're done. It's been an honor serving with you, Explo. At Kami Wolverine on Twitter, at ExploCast on Twitter, at LV, at Captain Awesome MG13 on Twitter. So many of these people, amazing to work with. We are going to be back, and maybe just a little bit sooner than you think. We're ironing out the details on some pretty cool projects for the summer and for the fall. We are going to kick it into a short break. Going to wrap things up from the desk here with Captain Awesome. I'm sure he's going to want to thank a few people and give his insight into that grand final. And then we will wrap things up with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Neptjun, and we will be done for the season. It still feels wrong to say thank you everyone for sticking with us. We promised you a fantastic series, and boy, howdy did we deliver. Captain Awesome will be here to break it down after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a final. This has been absolutely incredible. It's been a heck of a season. All of these teams have made an incredible run, like we said earlier. 16 weeks, 13 regular season, 3 weeks of the playoffs, all coming down to this. Illinois taking home the grand finals of the first ever Big Time Conference. Honestly, it was an incredible fight. It was an absolute show out there that they put on today. And Kami said it, Milk, the number one player, hands down on the Illinois team, absolutely carrying his team to victory, being able to do absolutely anything they asked of him. Completely and utter thanks from him. This season's MVP for sure of the finals. Absolutely incredible. For this last game, you had both two Illinois players on top fragging with Frasty and Poopin GJ. Poopin has been an icon in this tournament for quite a while with that shot with Rutgers to close out that series so nicely. And honestly, it was incredible watching these teams battle and fight. I want to thank Wisconsin for coming out to play. They did an absolutely incredible job. They clearly did something right because they're winter bracket finalists going through the entire upper bracket, farming teams to get there, and just a little unlucky today coming up just short, but Illinois taking home the finals there. Number one player for Wisconsin, Neebs. Yeah, you knew I was going to say it. One of the most fun characters to watch throughout the entire conference, showing up big on Sova every time, doing absolutely incredible. And we thank him for his service on Wisconsin's team, and it was absolutely great to watch them. I would personally like to thank everybody in the studio here today, Kami and Explo, for doing an absolutely amazing job casting this entire event with the crazy long stream yesterday, and honestly an incredible series here today. They did such a great job. It was absolutely incredible. LV, our producer, absolutely great at the desk, killing it over there. And honestly, it's been an incredible run with these guys. We've had so much fun putting up this tournament. It's it's been incredible. Thank you, Aquatik. Thank you, Corsair. Both of them absolutely influential in getting this stuff handled and sorted out. It's been incredible. I would also like to thank all of the teams for playing, all 14 of those teams. Honestly, you put on such a great show throughout the entire conference. I don't know what to tell you. It was incredible watching and interacting with you all, and I can't wait to come back and do some things again with you. I'm sure you'll see us here pretty soon. We do want to have some fun this summer and in the fall. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. We'll definitely be here ready to go. As far as that goes, I've been your host, Captain Awesome. I'm going to kick it over to Neptjun for a couple of Aquatik final words. But this was an incredible conference. Again, Illinois, you're champions of the BigTime Conference. First time. They're incredible. It was absolutely incredible to watch out there today, and they did a great job. Again, thank you to everybody for coming out today, and I'm going to kick it over to a Corsair ad and then over to Neptjun. You guys have a great night.
Y'all, I won't keep you here any longer. I think everyone across the team has said it very well. This has been, an amazing event for both Aquatik, for the players, and for all those that were involved. So some really awesome gameplay, some amazing commentating, and some amazing producing. Everything really just came together as a whole. And again, Aquatik was so excited to be the very first holders of the BigTime Conference. And who knows, as they all said, what's in store here in the coming future. For those of you, again, that this is your first time with us, welcome. Thank you. Make sure you head over to aquatik.gg/Discord to stay up to date on all the great things that we have going on here at Aquatik and all the different ways that you too can get involved and that you can play. There's a lot of great tournaments that involve the community, so feel free to dive in. And congratulations to those of you that are taking home prizes from inside the chat today. I know it's always a nice thing to get to take home a little something of your own. Again, we're all about empowering the players to do whatever we can, and I think this was a great show of that. So thanks to everyone. As they've all said, thanks to Corsair. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, actually, with another one of our shows making waves, and we'll catch you later on in the week. Thanks again, everybody. As always, I'm Neptjun, and I'll see you in the arena.